Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner and I'm here with James Farley.
Hello.
Sean Bell.
Hello.
And the main one, Matt Murray.
Hello.
It's time to talk about the Full Nels crew. They are Aaron Patrick, Anthony Oakinson, Simon Nelson, Tom S., Jack Oven, Moomin Biscuit, and Richard Sawyer. They are our Full Nels crew, and by that I mean they went for the top tier at our Patreon. That's patreon.com/TCGS. Thank you so much for supporting us at that tier, and thank you so much to everyone that supports us on Patreon. It really does make a difference. It lets us do things that we wouldn't have been able to do normally, not because we wouldn't have had the time or anything, but because our wives would have got the ump. That's the truth, innit? It's the fucking truth. Right, should we get on to feedback this week, Matt?
Let's. We're going to start with 6 Squid at 6 Squid _ games. The new theme, we're talking about that, definitely evokes Junkie XL's remix where Nike/FIFA had a little less conversation. It makes you wonder what TCGS version of that cage match would look like. I mean, other people have said, it kind of reminds me of this and that. I don't really see the resemblance.
I don't see any resemblance.
I think it's just like song with drums.
Yeah, that's what it is. The ones with like it's the drums that seems to like connect with people.
It really reminds me of that Phil Collins track, really, you know, and that Cadbury's advert with the
Oh no, it really reminds me of Stomp. Stomp. It's exactly like that. Yeah, no, the comparisons aren't working for us, I'm afraid. But that was a good song, though, right? That was a good remix. I liked it. I know it was a bit like played everywhere, but I like that song. So
yeah, it was overdone, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Stomp, or as James calls it, Stomp. Moonfriend at Moonfriendo64. Unbelievable. We were talking about obviously James Farley and parkour obviously last week.
Obviously.
We come out of Peter Parker was the best we could come up in a very, very short space of time. Moonfriend says, unbelievable that not one of you came up with James Farleap for James's parkour name. The obvious choice right there. James Farleap.
It's fine, but Peter Parkour, although it's not a pun on James's name, there's better in it.
I don't know.
Isn't it?
I feel like the fact that it's nothing to do with his name really kills it. That's probably already been done, whereas no one's done James Farleap. Arguably, because it's a worse idea, but that's not the point. It's unique. So
it's true. Things like that should always be connected to the name, really, shouldn't they, Captain Toss?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, next bit of feedback, please.
Charlie, g'day TCGS. In last week's pod, there's a bit of discussion about the onboarding experience for new players in Destiny 2 and Cammy's difficulties with its rather abrupt introduction to its story and game mechanics. There's also some questions about how other long-term live services games like World of Warcraft have tackled the problem. I recently picked up WoW to keep in touch with friends, having tried and failed to return to Destiny 2. I think the closest comparison might be that World of Warcraft is a theme park ride, whereas returning to Destiny 2 felt like playing paintball during a competitive Uno tournament. Both are undeniably fun, but WoW just asks a lot less of you from the off. I think a lot of the appeal of WoW and Destiny 2 pre-Shadowkeep comes from the slow drip feed of new abilities and options as it slowly ramps up the complexity and difficulty of the content available to the player. I feel shelving Destiny 2's main story for the Shadowkeep expansion removed that slow ramp up, and with it a sense of cohesion in the world and the chance for players to be introduced to new game concepts. Apologies for the wordy email. Love the pod. Everybody please play Kentucky Route Zero. And that's from Charlie.
Yeah, just Charlie from Blizzard. I really enjoyed your email there.
They're not wrong. One of the issues Cammy had, and obviously any new Destiny 2 player would have, is that it gives you all your characters' abilities and stuff immediately, pretty much. And again, on the one hand, you can understand that as we want you to be able to play with all your friends who've been playing it for a while. We want you to be up to speed, but just giving you all those abilities. So at one point, Cammy was like, "Oh, it's just told me that I've got all the subclasses. What's a subclass, please?" It is just a bit of a mess.
I'll tell you what else is annoying. Because I've been trying to get back into Destiny 2 recently, and
why?
Why?
Because I want to.
It's fucking good.
Yeah, I just want to do some shooting. What's wrong with that?
What are you playing on?
PS4.
Okay. I mean, because I'm interested in getting back into it as well, but there's no point if you're playing on PS4.
Yeah. Anyway,
why they both run at fucking 30 frames? Does it matter?
What's that? No, it's because I don't know.
I play my Xbox, have you?
I don't even got PlayStation Plus. I
don't even got it.
I don't even got it, mate. Don't even got it. So go on.
Yeah, so the only thing I was going to say is the thing that's putting me off at the moment, and this will sound ridiculous, is the load times. It's got significantly worse than it used to be before. It takes really a long time to load now, like a really long time. Like,
I don't know, man. I think it's basically the same as it's always.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
always
on PC,
been bad,
though, right? Surely it's going to be different on PC.
I'm swapping back and forth. So Cammy's playing on PS4. So when I'm playing with Cammy, I'll load PS4 version up.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, maybe you've got a fucked PS4 to go along with your fucked Xbox Ones, James. Have you ever thought of that?
I don't think so. Maybe it's just taking a long time. It's just annoying.
Do you live near like a giant magnet? And it's like messing up your electronics.
Welcome to the Canterbury Magnet, the largest and strongest magnet in the world.
Big sign up saying "Do not turn on any like electronics within 2 miles."
If you've got any floppy disks, they're absolutely fucked in this town.
You might have. I don't know, James. Was it? I mean, actually, no. I'm jumping ahead. Forget it. Let's just go on to the next one.
Yeah, okay. We'll save a Destiny 2 chat.
What was that going to be?
No, sure. I just it's about Destiny 2 stuff that happened this week. But
yeah, we got to save that chat.
I can't relate to that chat.
That's going to be a good chat. Go on.
Ben Bowers at Adrama Day. Just listening to your Minecraft Dungeons discussions, how similar is it to Lego Star Wars games? My daughter and I love those, and for what you're saying, Minecraft Dungeons sounds along those lines. I mean, I've played the Lego Star Wars games, but
no, absolutely nothing like them.
You're joking? I'd say it's pretty similar.
I don't know. In terms of running around hitting shit, like not a million miles away.
But then but
you go around hitting stuff and collecting things.
Right? That's okay. Sorry. If the Star Wars stuff is similar to the other Lego games that I've played, then firstly, there's not a constant need to use power-ups, is there? You're literally just running around hitting things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you use
there's no little puzzles.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Yeah, there's puzzles.
What, in Minecraft Dungeons?
Oh, no, sorry, I thought you meant in Star Wars.
Lego, yeah.
No, there's loads of puzzles in Lego games. What I'm saying is that they're very, very different games. Yeah. They're very different games. You're not leveling up for a start. That's a huge part of Minecraft.
Yeah,
I'd say Minecraft Dungeons is a lot harder than Lego games. Like Harry could sit and play through a Lego game on his own, no problem. But there's no way he's playing Minecraft Dungeons from start to finish on his own. Like, because there's just that level of complexity there that you don't get with Lego games. But I will say Lego games are pretty fun when they're not being a bit shit here and there. And they are pretty good. And I am very, very excited for the Star Wars, was it Skywalker Saga thing?
Yeah, where's that up to? Because they've not really shown
it's supposed to be out
this
year, isn't it?
Is it?
It's still happening from what I read, yeah.
Because all the rumblings that it's fucking ambitious, like the amount of stuff in it. So
well, there's been no gameplay footage at all. We don't know what it looks like, but people have seen it being played. It was at a private E3 showing last year or the year before, I can't remember. But yeah, it must have been last year. But yeah, no, I mean, even the trailer's just fucking brilliant. So, and Harry keeps seeing like the Star Wars Lego games from the 360 era on the Game Pass and everything. He's like, oh, can we play that? And I'm like, no, just hold off because there's possibly a way better game coming. So we're sort of sitting there. But the initial rumours was that it was only coming a few months after Fallen Order, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, you would think they would try and get it out around the film, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So something's happened, isn't it?
Maybe it'll be out for the next film.
Yeah, definitely. Skywalker Saga 2, the second saga, featuring the Phantom Menace. Right, let's go.
Saga. Right, last week, obviously, we talked about next gen and usual stuff. SMW at Not Spatial on Twitter. I said. The line, Sony's never gone in with this sort of lead before. And the tweet says Matt Murray, as he talks about how well the 360 did, coming off the back of a generation when a PS2 sold like 5 times the amount of the Xbox OG. Yeah, I did totally forget the PlayStation 2 sold 5 times the amount of...
Well, we all did, I think. None of us thought that as a
none of us called you on
counterpoint.
it, so yeah.
So you get away with that.
Although 360 was the talk of the town, I think, mostly for that generation for a whole host of reasons we spoke about last week. PS3 did ultimately sell more. So, but yeah, but I totally forgot.
It did, but like I just think, it's still, financially, I still think Microsoft had made a lot more money out of it, didn't they?
Are you
Because they sold
joking?
more at the
After the
start
red-
of the...
No, you have the Red Ring of Death, which
that's a good
sold
point.
like billions,
Yeah, that's
isn't
a
it?
good point. That fucked them as well, didn't it? But then didn't Sony have their own problem with the PS3 with the yellow light?
They had the yellow one, but it was nowhere near as bad as the Red Ring
as
thing.
bad, was it? Yeah, no. I think it was very close to that generation. Beforehand, obviously, PS4 completely wiped the floor with the original Xbox. I don't know. I'm really interested. I'm not convinced that the lead is going to be what wins here. If there's a £150 difference between the consoles, just as an example, I don't think there will be, but if there is a £150 difference between the consoles, then that'll clinch it, won't it?
I don't know. It's so hard to say because every generation we're like, well, that's going to win, and then other things happen, and if you look at it's a different example, but when people saw the PSP, you're like, well, the DS has got no chance. Look at that, and obviously the DS destroyed it. But the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think this lead Sony's got, it's just going to be too hard for Microsoft to catch up with. But I don't know. I mean, it's all to play for.
See, I agree with you, Matt, with that, because I just think like we're like a tiny niche of people that know a bit about what's going on with like game stuff, that we follow and everything. Loads of people don't care about all that, and for them, gaming is like PlayStation. And it's like they're the people...
but then also you got to remember that also for them is when the initial wave is very important, because then you get people that aren't into gaming as much going, which one should I get? Should I get this or this? And obviously last time people were going, well, the Xbox is shit, so get a PlayStation. And then there's people saying, I want to get a games console, what's all my friends got? And if all the early adopters have got one console, the launch period is really, really important. But yeah, I mean, way too early to tell.
It's also why, like, as we said the other week, like the whole thing with the backwards compatibility, I think, is super important for selling, like people on that as well. Like, if you can say to someone, yeah, you can play all the games you've already got as well, and all these new ones.
I'm pretty sure they'll both have that though.
You reckon?
So I think they'll both have that. I mean, there's been a lot spoken about how Sony have addressed things with these sort of like little caveats to every time they talk about their backwards compatibility. It's all like, a certain percentage of games will be backwards compatible. I literally think that's to cover their backs when like 5 games won't work on it, and they can say, well, we didn't say every game, but I don't know. I just look at those warnings and they're worded as if to say, we're just covering our back a bit. I think the PlayStation 5 will be fine with backwards compatibility, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and the weird thing about compatibility is, like, Sony pre-ordered 360s, obviously slightly more PS3s were sold. Sony pre-ordered 360s, and so for Xbox One, this current generation, it's like, oh, amazing, all the 360 stuff you loved, you can play that again. And now, I guess, obviously, they're saying you can play every generation, but a big point of it is you can play the Xbox One stuff on your new Xbox, but the Xbox One has sold hardly any compared to PS4. So they're actually trying to say all the games you might have bought on a 360 before you went to PS4, you can play them again. It's a bit weird, I think, in terms of
also the other fascinating thing is that when you talk of backwards compatibility, and I think this is something Microsoft definitely will do that I'm not totally sure Sony will do. They may do, but if I want to play a 360 game now on my Xbox One, I buy it on my Xbox One and it downloads as a 360 game and it just runs.
Yeah.
So we know that for the next gen, if you want to go back and play an old Xbox One game, you'll go into the store on your Xbox Series X and just download that Xbox One game and you'll be able to play it. There's no doubt about that. But Sony, do you think you'd be able to buy a PS5 and then go onto their store and download a PS4 game to it? I hope so.
You're right, because when you look at all the other stuff that they've done before, like with Vita and like, playing PS1 games and all that, they're like ones that have been like modified, aren't they, for the machine, if you know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
I'm not saying that they're not going to do it, but what I'm saying is that both companies really need to get their messages across quite clearly here, don't they?
I think definitely, because so obviously on the web version of the PlayStation Store, you can buy Vita games, PSVR, PS3, PS4, but can you currently buy PS3 games on the PS4?
You can't buy. No, I mean, yeah, but if you go and buy a PS3 game. Oh, right, we're going to get corrected here. There's going to be a ton of feedback on this, so that's fine.
Wait for the emails.
I'm pretty certain you can't buy a PS3 game through the PS4 store, like on the PS4 console.
No, and if you do it on the web browser, if you buy the PS3 version, unless it's cross-play across those three platforms, it won't just download to your PS4, will it?
No, it'll only download to a registered PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll smooth that all out for the next gen, because that's definitely something Microsoft can crow about. I don't think it's the sort of thing that will shift consoles in big numbers, but it's another little I'm going to say feather in their cap. Is that right? Or string in their bow? One of those two.
Yeah, string in their
cap.
One
of those works, doesn't it?
Cap. Yeah.
String in the cap. Arrow in the head.
It's a shame Sony can't do something like, if you own this game, like PS3 version, PS2, PS4 or whatever, then you can automatically just play this through PS Now, like without any subscription or anything.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, we've got so long to go. Like, we've not even had the official proper reveals of these things yet, have we? So,
speaking of which, I'll save it for news. I presume you're going to cover that in news,
Saucy.
Yeah, I was going to. Cool. Well, I'll just mention it now. What can't I just say now? What's the point?
Because it's news, isn't it? Let's wait for the news.
Right, I don't want to ruin the news.
Or feedback. Go on.
Now, obviously, we get corrected lots of times. Now, is there anything better than someone correcting you and then them being wrong? The answer is absolutely no. MS Rangers 999. We're obviously again talking about Xbox One X and storage, Series X and storage and stuff. Re-SSD a normal drive. You can play through a normal drive, but you'll not get the benefits of what the SSD does, i.e. super quick loading, instant suspended gaming, etc. If you want the game to benefit, you move it over to the SSD. Hope that helps clears things up. No, that's not how it works.
I saw that.
I looked again tonight. I looked again tonight, and no, basically, and when it says SSD in normal drive, I presume they're talking external drive. Now, any external drive, you can't just play the games, but you don't get the benefits of instant suspension and loading and stuff. Like, games are built around having this super quick internal NVMe drive. So no, you have to move games from any external drive you have and move them over internal drive and over to the internal drive, unless you get their proprietary Seagate external drives that they're selling. You can play Xbox One games on your Series X on an external drive, because those obviously haven't been built.
Has that all been announced?
It must have been announced in one of the Wired articles. I looked today and it's all like on Digital Foundry and Forbes.
We know your history of searching for Xbox news on the internet, though, Matt. Where's the other one? It's on old Xbox support forum. Anyway, yeah. But I checked multiple websites, because if I'm going to correct someone for correcting me, I'm going to make sure I get it right. So yeah, basically, you cannot play your Series X games on external drive and say, "Oh, I'll play without the benefits." They have to be moved over to the internal drive. Up yours, MS Rangers 999. All right.
Come at me, come on.
To be fair, this is one of the rare instances where you were right. So you go, girl. You go for it, mate.
We talked about Japanese game stuff in it. That's basically the only support. That's the only lead up to a street I'm going to have. Athena, on the topic of online games in Japan, interestingly, Apex Legends, Fortnite, and other battle royale games are absolutely massive in Japan. There is merch for PUBG everywhere.
Fair dues.
That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah,
I will note again that I've been corrected on that, as I was last week.
Yeah, because we're saying, actually our shooters are big over there, etc., but it's done.
Yeah. So just to be clear, when I originally said that, I acknowledged that it probably wasn't the case anymore, but historically Japan preferred local multiplayer. And then we got an email last week saying, no, actually they play loads of online stuff, and now we've got another one. It's okay. I know now. It's fine.
He knows about that, and he knows about HDR. He is
certainly do.
Officially fine. That is it for feedback.
To make yourself feel better, do you want to mention about when Nathine told us that absolutely no way can you suspend more than one game at a time, because it is physically impossible? You want to do that?
Well, hang on, no, it was more complicated than that, wasn't it?
No, let's keep it simple so it makes us look good. Let's get to the news, James. Come on.
No, hang on. No, Dave, because what she corrected us on was you saying that you should be able to like resume where you were after patching it and shit. That's what she corrected you on. That's completely different.
Yeah, that's true.
Dave.
News.
Dave.
James, let's get to news, mate. Quick.
Okay.
Edit that out,
first...
Not doing it.
God.
Okay, so first of all, I wanted to start off with like a Black Lives Matter update because there's been like a number of things that have happened this week, and I thought I'd go over some of these. I mean, first of all, Infinity Ward have pledged to do more to moderate racist content because they've apologised because they said that for like ongoing issues with racist messages, comments, and usernames being used in online play, and they've pledged additional resources to monitor and identify racist content and improve the in-game reporting systems. They also want to increase the number of permanent bans. But the other thing they've done in Modern Warfare and Warzone is they've added like a message to the loading screen. So this, which says, our community is hurting. The systemic inequalities our community experiences are once again centre stage. Call of Duty and Infinity Ward stand for equality and inclusion. We stand against the racism and injustice our black community endures. Until change happens and Black Lives Matter, we will never truly be the community we strive to be. So, I mean, a number of other companies have also...
So it's like, can I just go on that Infinity Ward thing? Like,
Sure.
It's good that they've obviously said that they pledge to improve efforts and stuff, but like, since the original Xbox, it's like, you know, if you go into certain games, you're going to hear like racist stuff, and like they should have been sorting this out ages ago. It's good they are.
It's weird, isn't
saying
it?
that they're doing it, but like, this has been a known thing in online games since day one.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, increase some of bands, good. But like, I mean, name changes. How have racist name changes been allowed to get in anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look,
I thought that was odd. Like I say, we've all known this has been an issue since online gaming began. Don't know.
I don't know what the discussions were within that company, and I don't know what the discussions are within, or the intent, or any of that. Like, we don't know how these decisions come about. All I know is that it fucking infuriated me when I saw all these messages going up on Twitter because, you know, EA put one out, EA Sports put one out, across the board we want to improve that. Do you know what? Play FIFA, you'll see how fucking it is one of the most racist communities I've ever played in. Like, it is disgusting, the stuff that's in there. As you say, Matt, Call of Duty has been horrific for it for years. So why now? Like, maybe the intention is we really have to do something about this. Maybe because of all this protesting and everything, it's made them look at themselves and finally realise what's going on. But it also makes you think, how much is this because there's a lot of these messages going out now? You know what I mean?
Like,
and how angry should I get at
online
that?
lobby since the original Xbox, or I guess obviously PC game before that, maybe, but like that's like, have they not played one game of Fortnite or anything with like public chat on? Like, everyone knows what it's like. I mean, yeah, it's great that they're throwing additional resources to do this, but this should have been happening anyway. But yeah,
but then you can also say is when people are saying what's the point of protesting, regardless of the reason why they're doing this and why this stuff is out there, you cannot now argue that gaming these protests don't make a change, because it's not just the gaming world that's starting to look at itself and go, fucking hell, we can do better here. It's not just them, it's across the board at the moment where everyone's stopping, looking at it and going, what can we do to make ourselves be better? And but I'm not saying everyone's got the right intention when they're coming out with these press quotes and these tweets and whatever. But what I am saying is that clearly it's made a lot of people stop and think. And whether that's for the right or wrong reasons, it doesn't matter, because 10 years down the line, they're not going to switch back on it, are they? Because by that point, it will be way more unacceptable than it already is. Because most of the industry would hopefully have changed. So,
that's the thing. If it builds like an unstoppable momentum for like things actually changing, like if there's these things are going to be changes, that can't be a bad thing.
Absolutely, it's not a bad thing. And I've been texting unbelievable, like an insane amount to you guys throughout the past 2 weeks about how I'm conflicted by everything. Like I've got these angry emotions and I've got these frustrated emotions, and I'm conflicted about everything. But at the end of the day, if we come out of all of this with an improved, with games that take this shit seriously, that don't just put their games out there and wash their hands of the community, then hopefully it's all worth it, But let's see if they do implement this stuff and if it's effective enough.
Plus, if you think this is a bit weak, let's talk about what Rockstar did.
I know, that's what I'm just getting to.
What did Rockstar do?
Well, there's also, the other things that have happened is, Rockstar shut down their servers for GTA and Red Dead Online on the 4th of June for 2 hours. And that was their sort of thing, to sort of, as a message.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
So I think that's ridiculous. But it basically, so the 4th of June was Memorial Day.
Yeah.
But still.
But why the 2 hours? Why not just all day or whatever?
Or better yet, donate some fucking money.
Yeah, donate money. Don't close your game down. No one gives a shit about you closing your game down. Certain outlets saying that they're not tweeting for the same amount of time as. Yeah. Well, it was just downright fucking offensive. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be talking like this because it's an issue that I clearly I feel some sort of emotional connection with, but as we said last week, it's weird for white guys in England to sort of go, hold on a minute here, are you doing this right? It's so it's a bit fucking weird, right? But I do look at this stuff and I'm only speaking my mind as and when I see this shit. That's why I was so angry last week because that's when all this stuff started to come out from these companies, and it made me think how much of this is to try and look good and how much of this is a genuine realisation that what you've been doing is
this is
wrong.
it, isn't it? Because it's like, so this Rockstar thing, it's like, last week when we had Blackout Tuesday and everyone was, on the Instagram, whatever, was posting the black squares, and it was like, no, don't just do that, like actually post some useful stuff like resources or link, donation links or whatever. The whole point wasn't to just shut up. It was like
it was that's what people were saying. It's not to be quiet. It's to listen. And
exactly.
That's a two big thing. I thought that was a great way.
And then, so what Rockstar have done is just posted a black square, but on the grandest fucking scale. Like they could have helped rather than just gone, oh no, we're going to turn the game off for 2 hours. Like I don't know. Really, really strange.
Okay.
And then, the other thing, obviously there's been cancellations. So Activision Blizzard cancelled their World of Warcraft Shadowlands live stream. And then, we had Sony last week, where they cancelled their live event. But that's now going ahead this Thursday.
I did wonder, why did they say they cancelled it?
Well, they said at the time they cancelled it because they thought, other voices were more important at that moment. I'm not
like, look, maybe I'm being a dick here or whatever, but this is still going on quite heavily every day, and it doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. So what made them go, okay, they've made their point, right, back to games. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it weirds me out a little bit. Like, where was the decision? Like, I don't know.
Exactly a week later feels a bit weird, doesn't it? Because it just feels like it's like, oh, that was an inconvenience. Now we can do it a week later.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
We solved racism. It's okay. We can do the World of Warcraft stream.
Have
you ever seen Lemmy's sketch about the wristbands, the Livestrong wristbands?
No,
and how everyone used to wear them, and then suddenly no one does anymore. It's like, oh, has there been a cure for cancer? Has there? Brilliant! It's just like, oh no, you just decided that you're not bothered anymore, and you took the wristband off, and that's that.
Not everyone was wearing them all of a sudden.
Obviously, all the process is still happening. Like, what would it? I wouldn't like. Yeah, so it's confirmed for this Thursday, but they may cancel it again. Like, I think you're right. I think
it's possible.
They obviously have to they have obviously already probably cancelled tons of plans even before everything started happening with E3 and with other things. And with coronavirus and stuff. It feels like they've already had to delay and cancel probably some stuff, so they're up against it. I don't know. 1 week feels weird, but so hopefully it's happening. But I can also see them suddenly saying, "Yeah, it's not happening," because again, more important things happening in the world.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but if it does happen, this is a good time to mention that we are going to do a talks over on Thursday night. 8:45 will be live on twitch.tv/TCGSco. That's if it happens. I'm fairly sure it will, but, obviously check Twitter and check the news to see if it is actually happening. But if it is, we'll be there doing a talks over for the PS5 showcase on Thursday, live from 8:45.
Okay.
But okay, in better news, I think related to this, I mean, if you are looking for another way to sort of show support for this, is it itch.io? Is that how you pronounce it or whatever?
Yeah. So
they're hosting.
For a while, I called it itch.io. I thought it was meant to be like one word, but no, it's itch.io.
Okay. So they've raised 2.3 million on their site for it's a bundle of indie games, which is the bundle for racial justice and equality, and it's like games from 564 creators with like 740 projects, and all the proceeds for that are going to the NAACP Legal Defence and Education Fund and the Community Bail Fund. So that's that seems to be going very well.
Fucking brilliant! It's actually since James found the news story, it's now up to 2.5 million.
Okay.
Which is absolutely stunning. I mean, if you have any sort of machine that can play indie games, like PC, laptop, whatever, like it's $5. I mean, obviously you can spend more if you want. Obviously, like there's 700 odd games. There's a lot of chaff in there. There's a lot of like just weird little experiments and stuff. But there's some like
I think actually Sean, the Lot of Chaff 2 and Lot of Chaff 3 is also in there.
I saw one that was like, enjoy your role as a telemarketer. And I was like, oh my God, that's the most
sweet. I mean,
no. But yeah, I mean, I've only had a very quick glance, but like Night in the Woods is on there, and A Short Hike, which I streamed a while ago. That's really fucking good. Overland is on there. That's a really good turn-based strategy game. There's
Bleed
tons
2's
of
on there.
What is, sorry?
Bleed 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is it really?
Cool.
I didn't know Bleed 2 was on there.
That's a good fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, I can't play half the games, but I bought it because it'd be worth dipping into every now and then. If it's been a slow week, I can check a few of those games out. But the list is endless. It's crazy. So definitely check that out on.
And and obviously,
itch.io.
itch.io, and if you basically, it's just pretty much always on the front page. I think there's that, and there's another bundle, isn't there? That's, I mean, there's not half as many games in it, but I think there's only about 20 odd games, but it's another similar bundle with some good stuff in it. So well worth it.
Cool.
Okay. Next news story. Have you heard about the saga of the Kerbal Space Program 2?
Oh, do you know what?
No.
I have. Yes.
Okay.
Hasn't this been years in the making? And it's...
Well, no, it all kind of blew up, it seems, earlier this year, but then the details have just started to come out. So what it was Star Theory, this company, were developing Kerbal Space Program 2 as part of a joint venture with Take-Two's publishing subsidiary that's called Private Division. Then, in February, Take-Two announced that it had formed a new studio to continue development of the game in-house. But the people working on the game only found out about this because they were contacted via LinkedIn by Take-Two, asking them to join this new company to continue working on the game that they were already working on
at
this other company. So what it is it turned out that Private Division had ended the contract to make the game, and the people working on the game didn't know this had happened. Although Star Theory's, like the people that was in charge of Star Theory, it's like Bob Berry and John Mather, said that actually Take-Two had been interested in buying the studio, but they didn't accept the terms. So they were like, no, we're not interested. We want to just, it's not good enough offer or whatever, that kind of thing. So instead, Take-Two decided to bypass the leadership and just take the talent, who was working at the studio. And so apparently they offered Star Theory staff what they called it's a cash sign-on bonus, an excellent salary, bonus eligibility, and other benefits. And then people left, leaving Star Theory with no game and not many staff members either, which is kind of awful.
That's fucked.
And so then Star Theory drew up like this plan to try and save itself. And what they were trying to do was they were giving staff 2 months to come up with creative ideas that they would then be pitched at GDC. But then obviously coronavirus happened and GDC got cancelled, and now the company's been shut down since the 4th of March.
Oh,
and that's
that sucks.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's just it's insane. Like, I mean, imagine that. Like, you're just working on something, and then you get like a thing saying, "Hang on," from LinkedIn, just saying, "Do you want to come and work on the game you're working on at the moment, but at another company?"
We're looking for developers for your game. Please get in touch. Yeah, no, that's a nasty way to finish that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a crazy story.
Shame. Is the game still in development, I assume?
Yeah, yes, it's still happening now. Yeah, because this other Take-Two studio is obviously working on it. So
Right.
yeah,
How's
it's still going to happen.
Because
But,
the first one was massive, wasn't it?
I was going to say, because the first one was absolutely huge, but that was it was different.
that was a 360 game, wasn't it?
Did it come out on the 360?
No, it was
I played
PC
it on
based.
No, it's PC and then current consoles, I think, with a different slightly different version.
It's the one where you simulate building a rocket, and then you've got to try and it all works like physically.
Yeah, the physics are
works,
actually really intense.
Yeah.
No, I'm just intrigued as to who, because it was the dev of the first one was Squad, who were based in Mexico.
Squad.
And so I don't know who Star. Hang on, where are we? Sorry, I'm just scanning through tabs on Star Theory. So where have they come in? Do they have any relationship to the original game? I've no idea. But yeah, to be able to get like such a huge project like that and then just have it essentially nicked, is really shit.
It is
Weird.
shit.
Next story.
Yeah,
Never succeed, guys. Never succeed. That's the moral here. Don't be too popular. That's what we live by with the computer game show, isn't it? We just prefer to fly under the radar. No one's ever going to buy us, and it's better off that way.
I mean,
that news story was literally.
I was like, hang on.
Sean, we would listen to offers though.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well,
hang
I'll be a
on.
judge of that,
So who do
James.
you reckon would buy us then, James? Who's approaching you?
It was just a joke, Sean.
No, who would you like to buy you, James?
I don't know. Well, there isn't anyone around anymore, is there? They're all.
It's true. It's true. All right, go on. Let's go.
So anyway, last week we were all intrigued by the huge schcoop. What was it?
You can't even say it.
No, I did that on purpose for comedy purposes.
What do you mean?
It's supposed to be a huge scoop, isn't it? But
Yeah, I know,
did a
but
huge
then
scoop.
it was supposed to be schcoop, but this time you said schroop.
Yeah, I've written it down wrong. It didn't work.
Schcoop.
So anyway, we were all intrigued by this huge scoop or whatever that this Japanese tech journalist like Zenji Nishikawa was promising for last week. So everyone was very excited about this. I mean, I was following all the
for
forums.
Sega.
Why do you keep saying that? Why he's leading up to something? This is James. He's got a little sucker punch blow or a little gag lined up because he said 3 times. So we were all very excited about it, weren't we? He said that like 3 times.
Don't you remember all those messages from Matt? He was well excited about this.
So why don't you say, Matt, you were very excited about this?
Well, I think Sean, were you moderately excited or not bothered?
Nah.
Not bothered.
Good.
So anyway, it is the 60th anniversary of Sega, so something big was alleged to be afoot, and we got 2 things, like in the end. Like 2 things came out on this
Two massive scoops.
Two massive scoops. So the first one was a Sega Game Gear Micro. So this is currently Japan only. It has a 1.15-inch display and takes 2 AAA batteries and costs around $50.
1.1... What? 1.15 inch?
Yeah,
it's the
it's
size
insane.
of a postage stamp.
I'm getting the tape. Hang on, that's the one that just has centimetres on it. I'm getting the tape
Just
measure
take your
out.
trousers down, Sean. Yeah, it's
That's
incredibly
fucking
small.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I only just realised.
Don't worry, Sean. There's more to the story, so
Okay,
don't
go on.
worry. So yeah, it is tiny. It's like the size of like a postage stamp or whatever. The machine's going to come in 4 colours, and each machine has 4 games on it. So there's black, which has got Sonic the Hedgehog, Outrun, Puyo Puyo Su, and Royal Stone. And then there's yellow with Shining Force 2, Shining Force Final Conflict, and Nazo Puyo. Now, imagine so Shining Force, they're like RPGs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Imagine that on like a postage stamp
I
style
don't think anyone's
screen.
actually. There'll be one guy doing it on Twitter and that on Twitch or whatever, and that'll be it. No one's actually going to buy these things to play on.
No one's going to play through the games. It's just like a cool little thing to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although maybe they will, because the blue one comes with Sonic and Tails, and Baku Baku Animal, Gunstar Heroes, and Sylvan Tale. And then the red one comes with Columns, GG Shinobi, Megami Tensei Gaiden Last Bible Special. Now, this is the key point, though.
Making these
if you buy... No, seriously, I know, it's insane, isn't it? I mean, the red one, the only good one on there is probably GG Shinobi, because that was a good game. I enjoyed that. If you buy all 4, though, you get a magnifying glass. So that you can see it.
And how much are
that's
they?
not his name. Say the name, James.
Okay, it's called the Big Window Micro.
Love that. Love that.
So this will make the screens bigger. This is the idea. But there's no word yet on a Western release, so we don't know if they're going to come out
the
over
full thing's
here.
like £200. I saw the ad that was posted. And I was like, I've never bought one of these micro consoles. I don't see the point. As much as I think, oh, that's a cool idea, I wouldn't use one for more than a second, and it would just be collecting dust. But I saw that one and thought, oh, that's cool. £200 though is a lot of money.
Didn't you said I want all of them?
Yeah, I mean, it'd also have the pack, wouldn't it?
No.
Yes,
I mean,
it would.
come on, this is terrible.
I wouldn't play them.
You're part of the problem, Matt. You're part of the problem. You're the reason why these companies. You're the reason why these companies feel that they don't have to put any fucking effort in. They can stick out any old shit and people buy it because
I don't buy them. But I don't buy them. That's the whole point. So your point is null and void.
Part of the problem.
What's that, James?
I said Matt is not part of the problem because he doesn't buy them.
That's a good
Exactly.
point. No, okay, all right. Well, you got me on that one. But I don't understand it. If they were to, I suppose, if they were to put out a proper like Game Boy filled with Game Gear, if they brought out Game Boy, it'd be a bit of trouble, wouldn't it, for Sega? But if they brought out like a proper decent little Game Gear thing with tons of games on it, I guess still no one will buy it.
Anyone would really care?
Yeah.
If it had, I'd buy it if it had the TV tuner built in.
Well, yeah, TV tuner built in. Putt golf.
Yeah.
And the TV tuner could only channel in TV shows from that era.
Yes.
Like just really old
amazing.
episodes of EastEnders with the static
I'm
shows and
surprised
stuff.
they haven't announced a Western release yet.
Are you?
Are you?
I mean,
I'm surprised they've announced a release at all.
Why would they not do it worldwide?
Because everyone taking the piss out of it.
Yeah,
Well, not
it's
everyone.
tiny as well.
Just a Twitter echo bubble, echo chamber bubble, bubble of chamber.
Well, I don't think so. I think if they come out over here, they'll
because
get
most
ripped.
people don't know.
It costs
what it is,
quite a lot
but-
to release things in another country, Matt. It's quite a risk.
But also they'll come here like
also-
making money. Why would they not release things, make money, sell
Because they're not
things?
guaranteed to make money, I assume.
Well,
What if they spent a lot of money launching this in America and Europe and no one bought the fuckers for the fucking thing because they're £50
like the original Game Gear.
for 4 shit games?
Hey, look, I'm just saying I think it should release it worldwide.
I mean, to be fair, for £50 a piece, the margin on that must be pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of plastic,
Imagine
crappy little screen.
it's terrible though, isn't it? Like the waste of plastic though from that. Like, what is the point? I just don't understand why.
Also,
It's stupid.
James, you bought 4 fucking Switches.
Yeah, exactly. Switches
That's a
work.
good
There's
point.
actually a point to that. No,
Yeah, but
rubbish.
Switches are bigger waste of plastic.
Are you
Well, no, 'cause they
comparing
actually
a
get
Nintendo
used.
Switch with a Game Gear that can only play 4
No,
games?
Yes.
he's comparing wanting a nice little, like a tiny little
Keepsake.
keepsake
memorial
thing to remind
Not
you of your
memorial.
past or whatever, or spending all that money on plastic so that your kids can't play on your fake Animal Island. There's
Rubbish.
there's
Yeah.
a difference.
There's nothing like it
Amen
at
to
all.
that
Like,
day. High
everyone's
five.
playing them all the time.
Yeah, I got you, Matt.
It's ridiculous. That's
I would
absolutely
say not only is it a
ridiculous.
waste of plastic, you've also lots of electricity being spent
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
on
your
your
Yeah,
little
but that's
kids'
only a waste
island.
if he's just turning them on and leaving them on the side, just switched on with no one playing them.
Oh,
and then
like
go,
he
"Oh,
doesn't
just run
do
out. Hang
that.
on, I need to recharge it.
Like he doesn't do that. I know I'll do that because then every time I hear that noise, there's a shooting star and I run over and I can get it with all 4 of them.
Yeah.
I remember, right, so one time I read about a guy who played, I can't remember what it was one of these like proper hardcore like submarine simulator games, right? And he always used to play it in real time. I forget where I read the article, but basically he used to leave it running 24/7 and and at night he would just turn the speakers right up, so if there was any sort of alarm on the submarine, it would wake him up and he'd have to deal with it. That is James with shooting stars and Animal Crossing.
That is brilliant, yeah.
I like the fact that he went over there and went, no, it's just so that we've all got our own islands and we're not, my kids are not going to come and nick all my materials and stuff. And then we found out that James was going into their islands to nick their materials, additional
I
materials.
only did that once or twice. I did
No,
that once or
that's what
twice.
you said to me.
Yeah.
No, you could have used the fossils.
They're not, are they? It's,
Well, they won't move you around, hoovering them up.
I imagine him going, Dad, what's a fossil?
No, son, they weren't in this game. They removed them.
Blathers' museum is really empty.
As soon as the kids go back to school, they'll be like, "Oh, Dad, I think my copy's broken. Like, there's no
Sorry,
fossils
Matt,
in my copy, Dad."
I didn't spend all my time trying to find other people to get fossils over so I could finish my museum before everyone else.
I didn't. I said, but that was also part of the game, is it not, James?
Yeah, so I was playing it with other people. It's fine. I don't know why is everyone having a go at me. This is a shit Sega stuff.
You went at Matt then, and then said, and then your defence when Matt had to go back was,
hang on. No, James just said that this fucking Game Gear thing is a waste of plastic, which I don't entirely disagree with. You wasn't going for Matt specifically, was he?
No, I was talking about the fossil thing. When he went for the fossil thing, he went, well, actually, I didn't contact people on Twitter to fill my museum. And then he came back with a fossil attack.
Related
James
joke.
Went, what's everyone having a go at me?
Anyway, I think we can all agree the Game Gear Micro looks cool, incredibly small.
Literally,
It
no
doesn't
one else
look
thinks that.
cool. It looks fucking ridiculous. It looks awful.
It looks stupid.
It does look stupid. Matt, you're well off base with this one. It's ridiculous.
I just think that they look ridiculous and cool. Anyway, what's the big scoop? What is the... I can't believe
that's the thing.
This is the first story when we've got the massive scoop. Why wasn't this top of the billing?
Well, no, because this is the best bit, though, because
That's
then
about the
after
Xbox
this...
Series X by Sega.
Yeah, well, you see, after this announcement, of these Game Gears, there was obviously concerns amongst, the Sega fan base that this was a huge scoop. And, you see, again, I was following this, and the forums were abuzz with people still saying, this is not it, there's more to come, it's still going to be okay, there's something big's happening, it's still going to happen. And then there was, because then they announced Folga Gaming. So what this was they announced this. This is a new technology that turns Japanese arcades into server farms.
All right.
What for?
Well,
because I thought, isn't it the purpose of this is so that people can use arcade games when they're when the arcades are closed? Was that
no?
That's not.
No. Okay, let me read what it says here. It says the tech will allow arcades to divert the CPU and GPU power of their machines for other purposes, and commercially adds the benefit of being able to make money outside of business hours.
Right. What way is it making money? What is it doing?
They're going to be
Cryptocurrency
mining Bitcoin or something, aren't they?
Wow.
Oh shit! So it's not
that.
actually you can just dial into an arcade and play it remotely. It's they're just going to be doing cloud computing stuff.
So it is literally
but on a local scale.
This doesn't affect anyone, any of the readers.
No, it doesn't affect anybody. I mean, even outside of Japan, it affects nobody.
Gaming? What?
I don't know. And it's also. I mean, this is also. I mean, that journalist was saying that this was as big as the PS5 reveal in Wired. I mean, that's insane,
guys. For me, it is. In fact, it's bigger. Let's move on.
No, but can I just say? Why would you even... what is this? Are you sure, James? Because this sounds like...
No, this is it.
That is definitely it. It's literally that they could just use the CPU for themselves, not to do anything consumer-based at all.
No.
Why would you say this is a huge scoop?
They didn't... Oh, no, but that's the point. The guy that said that this was a huge scoop and, a big deal and everything, he said this, but, he was this tech journalist. Nobody at Sega had said there was a big announcement.
No.
This
is the other thing that I read, right? I've also read that people were going, this problem is the internet blows this all out of proportion. No, there's only one person to blame in this whole thing. Isn't there?
James Farley.
Telling
us the news.
There is only one person to blame. You don't go on a stream and say, well, I've got this huge scoop. It compares to the Wired, article. You can't do that stuff. That's ridiculous. That's what you come out with.
Imagine you're working on something and then you see a news story like that and you're just like, no, don't tell them it's good.
Well, who's going to be saying that? Famitsu? No chance.
Well, no, I mean, like, no, like if you worked at Sega and you're just like,
copies that month or that week or whatever.
You're working at Sega and you're just like, oh yeah, I've got this project on the go. It's like kind of interesting. Yeah. It's not really, like I think it's interesting, but it's not, consumers aren't going to be bothered. And then some guy's like, oh my God, just wait till you fucking hear about. Like, like, no, don't do that. Don't get them excited. It's not cool. It's just.
All right.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Real shame it's not the Sega Series X, but.
I mean, if I do ever get a Series X, the temptation to just slap a Sega sticker on it
is 0%.
It's a little bit more than 0. It's non-zero.
Why would you want to make it look worse, Sean? I don't understand.
What's wrong with the Sega logo?
It's a
Sega logo's
logo,
all right.
James.
It's a cool logo, James. It's a cool logo.
Well, It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put like a little computer game show one next to it, and I'll be like, "Yeah, we made this."
Right,
yeah,
right. Okay, so we need to have a word about Sean. I don't think he should be on the show anymore if he's going to be doing stuff. I don't want to be associated with that sort of behaviour. If I'm quite honest with you, next news story, please, James.
So we all know that football's coming back.
Yes, it is.
The Premier League anyway.
Oh yes, finally.
It's coming home. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I thought we were gonna.
So that's coming back on the 17th of June. Well, the Premier League anyway. What's your nonsense on the Championship, Dave?
Nonsense.
When's that?
Proper football, you mean? Proper football is back on.
When does League Two come back?
It's back on. Well, do I need to remind you, James, that Millwall currently sit 2 points outside the playoffs to get into the Premier League? So,
do you know, I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that.
Why?
If they went up, it would be the best thing ever.
Why
I
do you
just would
think
love it.
Be the best thing ever? What is that?
Because I just want to see the pundits dealing with
Yeah,
it.
it'd be
I just
worth
think
it.
it'd be fantastic. Honestly, it'd be fantastic.
So we're back on the 20th, so I am really excited about it. Even watching them train. No one cares about Millwall players. They're not superstars or anything, but you see a little Murray Wallace like playing with his mates on the training pitch. Just put a big smile on my face. I can't wait, man. So good. Go on.
So anyway, Sky Sports have announced that they're going to start using what they're calling team-specific crowd noise that they're getting from FIFA, like the game, for when it returns. So what this is they claim that EA Sports have created bespoke and team-specific crowd noise and chants to replicate the vibrant atmosphere of a Premier League clashes so fans don't miss out on the noise that goes with the action.
Are you sure that it's not because the Premier League superstars swear quite a bit during football matches and they probably don't want to broadcast it? You know what I mean? Hearing like the managers screaming, "What the fuck are you doing?" at the top of their voice, like while the football's going on. Is it going to be optional? Is it going to be? It has to be on.
So what it's going to be is you can select the Sky channel to watch with or without the added sound. Okay. But you see, I really wish they did this, but then not just FIFA, but used ones from like other ones as well, like ISS 64 and things like that. Just like
of course, yeah.
It's a long shot. Yeah, the commentary as well. Yeah, whack that in there. I don't want to be the big man here, but I did bring this up the moment they were talking about playing behind closed doors. We all remember my little tweet there, the little poll that I did. Have you been watching the Bundesliga?
No.
Yeah, I've seen and listened to games on the radio. Yeah.
Absolutely shocking. I don't know how you can listen to those games on the radio, Matt, but it's absolutely shocking to watch that stuff without audio. And they've started putting crowd noises over the top. It's a million times better. And it sounds like on paper, it's everything I hate. You know what I mean? It's just awful. The idea of it makes you cringe. But when you actually watch the football, it's way better with the fake crowd noise over the top, without a doubt. So, if they
it makes total sense. And like, obviously, EA have obviously done all the work for years where they've like recorded, the crowds at every ground, and so it makes sense for them to do this definitely. But I mean, obviously, when you play FIFA, you hear like the standard chants. Are we going to hear them like repeated constantly?
Yeah,
it'd be interesting if we hear chants as well, or is it just crowd noises that they've taken from each
and
ground?
how tempting would it be to just drop some really swear-filled ones. The referees are wanking.
All the crowd are kicking off. Well, no, there is no crowd. No, the crowd are kicking off.
We've accidentally played the sample where the crowd is kicking off.
I was thinking they should go one step further and actually do digital crowds as well on the seats. They could probably do that, right? AR's a thing now.
Yeah, probably.
But wasn't there that thing in one country where they played behind closed doors and they put sex dolls in all the seats?
Yeah, it's on that. And like, I think there's like a cricket match or there was a sports match the other day where I was going to say baseball, whatever. And basically all the animals, it was baseball somewhere, and all the crowd were like stuffed animals and stuff.
My dream would be to superimpose Sean Bell into every seat at Old Trafford. Texting.
That's what I've always dreamed of.
Not paying attention to the game, sort of texting, looking up and shaking his head. Just looking at his watch and going to walk out, but then, security comes and puts him back in the seat. That'd be great. That would be great. Get it done. Get it done, Sky Sports.
Yeah.
Right.
The other thing that happened this week
you did half that to kill a buzz, didn't you? Go on, James.
I thought that was the cue to move
right,
on.
It was,
the next news bit.
Go on.
Okay. Bungie had a Destiny 2 event this week.
They certainly did.
They did.
So what this was is that they announced that they were going to do this live event, and it was going to start at 6 p.m. UK time. It was Saturday, wasn't it? Like last Saturday that this happened.
Sunday, wasn't it?
Sunday, yeah. Sunday evening.
Was it Sunday? I don't remember.
Yesterday.
It was one of those days.
Yeah. It was literally yesterday.
But it was unforgettable, James.
It wasn't. It was Saturday, I swear.
Who cares?
It was definitely Saturday. And it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's irrelevant. But anyway, what it was so everyone got there at 6 p.m. Some people even got there at like 5:15 or 5:30 because they were concerned they wouldn't be able to get in. And this was really, it seemed to be like Bungie were trying to do like a whole Fortnite thing of like, look, we're going to start doing like live events now, and this is going to be like a big deal. So we all got in there. I mean, I streamed it. I went in there with some of the people from the TCGS clan, and we got in there and we sat down in the tower, and then we waited for an hour and a half while some red trails in the sky above the tower.
Hang
went across.
on. Let's roll back. Do you want me to just do a quick explanation
explanation
what happened?
Just before you do, it was Saturday, not Sunday.
It was,
sorry,
James.
Right.
You're not going back.
Go on, James. Well done, mate. Proud of you.
I remember days.
So the current season is basically, I don't know if any of you remember, towards the end of the original Destiny 2 campaign, there was a mission, you were on this ship called the Almighty that was near the sun, and it was like pulling sun energy out of the sun. And there was a cool bit where you were like running around on top of it, and the sun was like fucking blasting you. It was quite cool. So the start of this current season, the story is some baddie aliens got on it, and they turned it around and pointed it towards Earth and set the engines going and then smashed up the steering wheel.
Oh, no, that's stupid, isn't it?
I know, it's just careless.
Idiots.
Fucking careless, mate. So it's been heading towards Earth this entire time, and the story is you're trying to get, Rasputin, the war mind, this AI that has all satellites all over the solar system, trying to convince him to shoot the shit out of it before it smashes into Earth and kills everyone. And like during the season, like when you're in, the tower, the social space on Earth, if you look like right at the sun, like you could see this like fucking dot on the sun, right? And it was like, oh shit, that's the Almighty, the ship. He's actually coming for us. So I logged in at 10 to 6.
That stuff in your accent, sorry, Sean, is quite funny. Oh shit, that's the Almighty.
And logging in at 10 to 6, expecting this event at 6 p.m. So you go straight to the tower, and straight away it was like, oh fuck, all the NPCs and stuff are all just looking at the sky like, what the fuck is that? And you sort of, run forward around the corner, and you're like, oh shit, there's the Almighty. It's fucking huge in the sky, and it is coming towards Earth. And then got to about 20 past 6, and we were all like,
well, it was due to start at 6, wasn't it?
No. It didn't even start at 20 past 6. We were all sitting there, nothing had happened.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it got to 20 past, and we were like, is this actually happening? Has something gone wrong? And there was some vague tweets from like Bungie staff being like, oh, wait for it, and sort of, vague
like,
messages that they were waiting for, to like get the numbers up and stuff. And then was it about 7:30 or maybe 7:20, we started seeing these little red lines in the sky. And everyone's like, fuck, this is it. Oh, something's happened. Oh my God. And it's obviously, yes, this is Rasputin shooting all these fucking space lasers at the Almighty. But the lines were moving really slowly, weren't they? They're just like...
So slowly.
And like,
Painfully slowly.
Realistic, I guess, because this is in space. It's millions of miles away. But we were just like, fuck me, this is going to be another 20, 30 minutes before...
Well, it's like, you say realistic, but, I mean, what else in Destiny is realistic?
I'm not offering that as a defence at all. I'm just saying, like, I can sort of see the logic, but also, it's a computer game. It's made up. Do what you want, you know. So, and then, these lines were going really, really slowly, really, really slowly, and, like, imperceptibly slowly, weren't they? It wasn't like...
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah. It was really funny. It's like when you're looking at the shadow on the floor, like, when you're in a beach or whatever, and you've got your umbrella up, and you just look at it, and you're going, it's not moving, and then you look back, like, 20 minutes later, and it's, it's actually slightly closer to my sandal than it was. I've done that quite a bit on the beach. Go on.
And then just after 7-ish, they started connecting. They started hitting the ship, and all these little explosions were going off. And again, there's like, about 30 seconds of people going, oh fuck, is this it? And then just carried on with all these little explosions for another 25, 30 minutes.
It was 30 minutes.
30 minutes. And everyone was going like, oh, it says the event ends at 7:30, so it must be by then. Something must happen. And then even then, it wasn't quite, was it? It was a few minutes after 7:30.
That was the thing, because after this had been going on for about 15, 20 minutes, like, of just these explosions, I was beginning to think, this is it.
Yeah. I was like, this is it. Do we just go now? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like, and then eventually, after over an hour and a half, the ship properly blew up. And a huge fucking chunk of it, like, came, looked like it was coming straight for us and then sort of veered off. And it was really spectacular. But by that point, everyone was just like, fuck this. What a waste
it was
of
spectacular
time.
for about 5 seconds. Like, as it was coming down, fine. But the moment it hit, it was like, oh, there's a tiny little hole in the tower, and most of it fell outside of the game world. So you don't even get to see all the damage and stuff.
I mean, we knew that was going to be the case, right? Because the game is just not built to just have the social space trashed while you're on it,
I guess.
But
did you see all the people saying, "God, please hit Eververse, hit the Eververse"?
Don't get it.
And it was just mad how something so exciting and, like, turning up and, like, fuck, everyone's here, everyone's, like, sitting around on tops of buildings, like, watching this, waiting for it to happen. Like, there were so many eyes on it. It was, like, trending on Twitter, more people streaming it on Twitch than fucking Fortnite, and they just fucked it completely.
Yeah, because the thing is it would have been good if it had been about 15 or 20 minutes long, tops.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would have been about how long it could have been, and you could have sustained that for. Yeah. But for that amount of time, it was taking the piss,
it was,
honestly.
Absolutely absurd. And
it's a complete lack of respect for the player's time, right? I think.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I said you could have watched Whoooooo during that.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
What a fantastic tale.
And to get all that interest and then just bore the fuck out of everyone, like, unbelievable.
It's
absolutely baffling to make this decision.
They're trying to, like, they're trying to get more people interested in Destiny 2 with like the free to play stuff and things like that. And this was obviously some event that I think they were hoping more people would want to come back to it, and I don't think that worked at all.
No,
like, in terms of, like, making people excited about Destiny.
Could have. That's what kills me, is that, as you say, if this had just been a 15, 20-minute thing, that would have been great.
It would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I do.
Because technically, it did look impressive. Like, with the explosions and all that kind of stuff. And,
I do need to give a shout out to Farmark, FARRMARK, on Twitch, because I went on, because I think, there was official Twitch streams and large well-known streamers streaming this stuff.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go for someone that didn't have, like, hundreds of people watching. And I found...
Is that why you didn't watch mine?
I didn't know you were streaming, James. I genuinely didn't. Like, it was 2 minutes before the event, and I went, you should stream this, James. And then I thought...
I did.
But I didn't know that. So I went onto Twitch and then watched it on Twitch. And it wasn't until about halfway through someone went, shouldn't you be watching James instead? And I was like, oh, right, okay. But then I felt bad about leaving because this Far Mark guy was like obviously an avid Destiny player, well into it. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was losing his mind at how long everything was taking and how frustrating it was. But at the end of it, he seemed happy, so that was all cool. But it was quite fun sitting in there because it was one of those things where I just went, so what's that thing flying in the air then? And he went, why are you watching this if you don't know what that is? But then he totally explained it all to me, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. That's totally fine.
See, I had that as well. I was kept on asking questions about like things in Destiny, and they were like, why? It's like, why are we explaining? You've completed this game. Why do you want to know? Why?
Yeah, but no one pays attention to the story. The thing
completely forgot
what
about
made
that.
me laugh is that the streamer that I was watching was fully focused on the sky. I mean, there was a moment where he got a bit bored and started glitching the camera through characters' heads, but other than that, he was just looking at the sky. Every time I flicked it to your screen, James, you were like inside.
Basically, James missed the big moment, because he was like doing other things like collecting quests.
Did you really?
And like,
you could have.
No, I
when
didn't
like
miss
the
it,
big
no.
explosion happened, James was looking somewhere else. And like, James, it's now.
I was not. I managed to get there just in time for the actual big explosion.
Could you imagine
But,
if you were down there when it did happen though? Like, I was just getting. I was going, why am I watching James's streams? He's just like running around the hallway.
Same.
I got bored.
I mean, I agree with everything you said, basically. If it would have been a really cool, like, 15, 20 minutes. And it was cool they did it, but it's just way too long. Hopefully the next one... It was the first sort of first big live event they've done in Destiny. The tech works, but please make it.
Yeah, I mean,
this is
I
what's so
got a
insane.
bit frustrated. I saw a lot of people going, look, let's not have a go. You're comparing it to Fortnite, and all right, valid. Fortnite have got a lot more money to fling at these things. They've done quite a few of these things. They've got it down now, right? Fair enough. But when they're saying, it's their first go, give them a break and stuff, you've got to go, well, yeah, but it's not the first time it's happened in a game. You know what I mean? You can look at what the successful ones have done and taken that on board. But,
or just speak to anyone with common sense and say, would you sit and watch nothing happen for 90 minutes? That's what gets me, is that differences in budget and what have you, fine. But the work that they put in was great because it looked great, it was exciting. When the actual exciting bit happened, it was just whoever made the decision that it should be so dragged out has just ruined everyone else's hard work. Like,
everyone was questioning whether it was broken or not on the stream I was watching.
Well, also the other thing is because people were sitting like in the tower for so long, like doing nothing, they were getting logged out as well. So which is just
I was like making sure I stood up every 10 minutes. Like, don't want to get pins and needles, guys. Come on, let's.
So, following that, what has actually changed? Because I watched the stream, and then at the end, explosions and stuff. But what's actually has anything changed in the game?
Well, not yet,
that?
because the new season's out next week, and I think there's this week.
There's a reveal tomorrow.
Yeah, this week. Yeah,
is it so I think tomorrow or yesterday, by the time you hear this, there's going to be a Bungie live stream about what's coming next, which I think is about the new season and the new expansion.
Yes.
So yeah.
But okay, so we are not going to be seeing what this actually means until the new season happens, and then you may see the results of this crash.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's going to be
cool.
Yeah.
There have, people have been going around all the different like worlds and everything, and then being like, "Oh, this wasn't here before," and everything, and then it was like, "No, that was already there." It's
My
like
favourite of those were people going, "Oh, the bits that are floating around the Traveller are floating slightly further away from it now," and then other people going, "No, here's a screenshot from a year ago. It's the same."
Yeah, same. Yeah, as someone myself who's dropped off Destiny, when I was watching it, I was like, "Hey, it's cool. There's a massive shared event, but it's so like dragged out. I'm not sure if this makes me desperately want to reinstall Destiny 2 now or never bother again." But I'm glad I did it. I can't wait for the next one. Hopefully, they have learnt a lot and they will make it short. Because also, like as I was saying on our WhatsApp group, like this doesn't even work as like a really cool clip on Twitter or like YouTube because you can't watch it on 90 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's
make
a
it
series
like a really
of
concise
screenshots.
10 minutes, and you're like, oh my god! When the Travis Scott thing happened, and all the other countless Fortnite events, like you could watch a the video of that Fortnite event for like 10, 15 minutes and see the whole thing. Wow, see, that is really cool. I'm going to be in the next one. I want to engage in that. I want to play Fortnite. Whereas this, you're like, well, no one's going to be watching an entire 90-minute plus video. You might see the end bit, but yeah, I think, yeah.
Well, we've had a bit of feedback
you just
on this,
want
haven't we, Matt?
Oh, we have, I better read it out, yeah. So this is from Jace Curtis. Hi, guys. As an avid Destiny 2 fan, I was really looking forward to a live event on the weekend. After a season that's been a bit of a damp squib, it was nice to have something to look forward to. Overall, whilst by no means perfect, I was ultimately satisfied. The visuals and sound design were the usual Destiny standard, and standing in a tower with other players chatting and emoting will definitely be a fond memory. Whilst it could have taken significantly less time, I understand the reasonings for it. Destiny 2 has had massive issues with loading into the tower recently, especially on consoles. By stretching it out, less strain is put on the servers and gives more people a chance to see what's going on. The inevitable comparisons to Fortnite didn't help the wider perception. Fortnite has more money than God, a huge dev team, and a studio that still practices crunch. Considering this and the current global situation, I think Bungie did a good job for her first attempt. Love the rebrand and keep up the good work. That was from Jace Curtis.
Okay.
I mean,
the server load thing.
I agree with all that, but it's just too long. Yeah,
the server load thing. I don't really buy it
If he enjoyed it, that's
everyone so many people tried to log in for 6 o'clock because that was when it was scheduled to happen, and then for maybe 20 minutes after that, word was spreading. But I can't believe that people were slowly logging in over 90 minutes. In fact, if anything, I think most of them had got bored and wandered off by the end of it.
yeah.
So I don't know if I buy the server load.
So it still looked great. It didn't crash, and it was their first one, and they're working from home. So yeah, I agree with all those points, but ultimately too long. Hopefully the next one will be a lot better.
Yep.
Cool. Right, is that it?
Okay, last.
No.
I got the last one. I've got a Stadia story.
Hey,
here we
which
go.
I just wanted to chuck in here.
Good news, I assume.
Always is, Sean.
It's always good news.
No need to ask.
So you know Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah.
You know it's coming out on the 17th of September.
I've heard that, yeah.
Well, it is, yeah. It's not coming out on Stadia on 17th of September.
So what?
Yeah.
You're still remembering the bad news, aren't you?
Please.
So, according to this website, there's a website called Stadia Source. I'm really surprised there's even websites that are dedicated to Stadia.
No. That's an actual burger sauce they're selling now because Stadia.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Lovely on hot dogs.
So anyway, apparently,
You having any Stadia sauce on that, Matt? Of course I am.
Oh, yeah. It's not a hot dog without it, actually.
So apparently the game is going to be out on Stadia by the end of the year. This is what they've said. So yeah, it's going to come to Stadia, but not on the same day as it does on all the other platforms that it's coming out on. So that's a bit of a shame.
It's a joke now.
There's two schools of thought with this as to why this is happening. Now, Forbes have got this article, and they've got two perspectives. They've got the Stadia optimist, who will tell you that the reason this is happening is because they're waiting for a PS5, Xbox Series X version of the game, which will launch later in the year with some sort of next-gen upgrades, and that's the one that will come out on Stadia. But then there's the more pessimistic view, which is that it takes a lot of work to port things to Stadia and make sure it's running really well, and CD Projekt Red just don't want to bother doing that at the moment because it's 98% of the game of people playing the game is going to be on other platforms. So what's the point in doing this at the moment? Since no one's going to play it.
The Stadia optimist, aka Matthew Murray. Yeah, I mean, okay, all right. Well, I mean, it just feels like we're kicking it while it's down now, isn't it? There's nothing more to say.
James, you had your fun, James.
I mean, I really don't think there's any need to read too much into this, is there? It's just that Stadia's just not a big fucking deal.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it obviously takes work to develop for the system. It's not going to be high priority when they've got such a low rate of, I assume they've got a low rate of purchasing on their
exactly,
stores.
And they need, and they've got to get it out on current hardware and then get the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions on the go as well. So why would Stadia be a priority?
Quick answer: it wouldn't.
But I mean, let's be fair. It is a shame because a lot of people Cyberpunk was kind of the poster child for like, oh, well, actually, like what, if the console versions aren't amazing, everyone's like, oh, PC's the way to go. Not everyone's got a really good PC. Maybe Cyberpunk would be a good first Stadia game for a lot of people, but not anymore, clearly.
No.
Yeah, but imagine Cyberpunk on your phone. To be sick.
Yeah, I can't wait to not be able to see anything properly. Or
someone will do that. Someone will play all of Cyberpunk on their phone, and just imagine that.
You'd need one of those magnifying glasses that you got with your Game Gear.
Yeah, it's exactly what CD Projekt Red had in mind when they're like, how do we want people to experience this game? Probably on their phone. Probably on their phone on the tube.
Right, okay, are we done with the news?
That's it, yeah.
Good. Right, there's quite a big release, finally. There's a big release this...
there's a release.
This week. What do you mean?
I don't think it's massive, but there is a game we can talk about.
We talk about it. It's massive. Of course it's massive. It's not just
bought,
one game, Matt.
which it's a game we've all played, which, going by last year, means it's definitely winning Game of the Year.
That's a good point.
So, it has made me cry, sure.
Also, when you consider that you're willing to pay over £200 for, 16 games? This one, it's got 51 games on it. 51 worldwide games, no less, for the Nintendo Switch. So we've all got it, right?
Yep, we have.
We know we have. We've streamed it, didn't we?
How are we finding it? Let's start with Sean.
Hello. Right, obviously, it's loads of really good games all collected into one neat package. Obviously, there's tons of classics on there. Chess, poker, whatever. We'll get onto poker in a minute. Dave, calm down. We'll get onto it in a minute. But also, there's ones that I hadn't heard of before. Like Carom, which is like a Indian sort of Subbuteo meets pool. And like Hanafuda, the Japanese card game, and like loads of things I hadn't tried before. And most of them have been pretty cool. I've tried to have a proper go on Mahjong, and it fucking destroys my brain.
It just baffles me, that game, and it goes on forever.
It really does. So loads of what we would consider staples and things I wasn't so familiar with. And for the most part, really nicely implemented. But I've got complaints, and I sort of hate myself for having complaints because it's such a nice thing that,
that's not a reason to. I think, Matt, it's Nintendo, isn't it? And you always try and understand. They're usually so good at getting things like this right. Certainly the Clubhouse games that they brought out for, was that the 3DS or the DS? I know we asked that at the time.
So Clubhouse, I thought I remembered that had like a series of levels, didn't it? That took you through all the different games.
It had a currency spread across games to unlock other games, right?
That's right, yeah. And wasn't there there were like specific challenges, weren't there, for different games?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all gone, right?
Yeah.
Like now we've got this system where you can just play any of the 51 games, but also you can travel around the world, which is just this globe, and there's people on it, and you click on a person, and they'll have like a selection of themed games. So, like for example, there's one that's all about like Japanese board and card games, and the theme is that it's all the ones that Nintendo actually made back in the day before they made computer games. They used to produce card and board games. But there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no incentive to like. It's not like, oh, complete all these challenges in this under this theme to unlock something. It's just, here is a smaller list of the games. Like, here's just a filtered list.
I think the reason behind that is that when they were releasing it for the DS or whatever, they're considering people playing this on their own. Whereas this one, they're not even considering that. This, to be very, very clear, unless you are playing this local multiplayer with people, it is not worth buying, in my opinion. It is not worth buying unless you're playing local multiplayer with people. Forget the online stuff.
Even local multiplayer has got massive problems as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Always got problems.
I agree, we'll get to that. But what I will say is that don't even consider buying it if you're intending on either playing it on your own or playing it online, because both sides of that is very, very poor. But okay, go on. Sorry, Sean.
No, I mean, yeah. So the online stuff. I think as long as there's only one other person you want to play with, I don't actually mind the online stuff. But yeah, if you've got more than one friend, you are fucked. Like there's what, about 7 games you can play with 3 or 4 people.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I think there's actually 9 games you can play online, most of which are card games.
Yeah.
Then there's Dominoes.
Yeah. Which was a riot.
Ludo.
Fucking Ludo, Jesus
Maybe
Christ.
another poker.
And like, you know,
something all
we were talking about this on WhatsApp earlier, and I was saying, like, you know, I get it. Like, a lot of the games are traditional board and card games, and they are designed for a certain number of players, and that's that. Like, you can't. Well, yeah. The conversation was there's no such thing as 4-player chess. I since Googled it, and there fucking is. Of course, there is. But you take my point. Like, the classic games built a certain way for a certain number of players, but why isn't there like a tournament system or like a so if you've got 4 mates, then we're like, right, pick a load of games and then we do like a winner stays on tournament, and the people who aren't playing can still watch and chat and sort of be involved. But there's none of that. It's just, yeah. So you know, when we did the stream the other night, so there was 4 of us, and when we said, oh, well, you know, let's do like a winner stays on thing, but then the people who aren't on, you know, they just can't watch. Sat around doing nothing. Yeah, you can't even watch what's going on. And guess what? Nintendo have fucked up the online functionality again.
it's right. Okay, I think the overall theme for me, and I think what sums this package up completely, for me anyway, is that it's not so much the games themselves, because you're guaranteed to find a game that will keep you entertained for at least a short period. You know, I've really been enjoying the darts in it. I think the bowling's got a lot of issues, but we've still been playing a hell of a lot in our house. You know, I really like the toy curling and the toy baseball and toy tennis.
Toy baseball's great. Baseball's really
you know,
good.
There's stuff in it that's fun to play without a doubt. But what's frustrating is the lack of trying to make anything out of it. You've got all these games, you've gathered them all into one package. You've got the advantage to try and use that unique package to do something with a collection of games, and you've just done nothing. Like I was saying, wouldn't it be brilliant if there was like some way that you could time limit each game, and there's some sort of battle royale mode where 100 people start, that gets cut down to 50. You play a random game against a random person, that cuts down to 25. I see where this is going wrong, but you know what I mean, like we'll work it out so it's always even. And it just there's no fault beyond let's compile these games together. And I think as you go through the games as well, there'll be surprises in there that you think, oh, fantastic, this is really good. But there are some massive disappointments in there as well. I mean, the main reason that tipped me over the edge to make me want to buy this was there was 2 things. The potential of playing a highly populated Texas Hold'em game online, and the fact that it had what looked like Wii bowling in it. So I was like, great, that's worth it. I will get this. But of course, I wasn't that hopeful for the Texas Hold'em stuff, right? What I didn't expect is a game that just doesn't represent poker. Like, it looks like poker, but... And I'm trying to say this without sounding like one of those people that's well into something and there's something slightly wrong about it. And I'm like, no, well, that ruins the whole thing then. I'm not doing that at all. The whole point about playing poker against each other is that A, you try and work out everyone else's moves, and B, it's not never ending, but the game is long enough for you to be able to put tactics into place. The poker in this lets you do 5 hands or 10 hands. That is not enough to get all of the tactical and game playing of poker into a game of poker. And as we said, like we were doing a tournament, instead of it saying you can bet what you want, like each round, you can't do that. It's set amount of bet every time, right? So you can't overpower someone. So a big part of poker is that if you're going for a bluff or if you've got a really good hand, you overpower them by just like either going all in or putting a massive bet out there, and that'll make people second guess whether to call you or not. Of course, you don't get that because it's all minimum bets. So it's like, okay, fine. So that tactic's gone. But also the fact that we were doing a round of 5 hands, and I had more chips than any of you guys, and it got to the last hand, so I just folded and I won. first place. There's no gameplay in that. It's what annoys me is that part of me understands it because it's a simple, reduced down version of poker. Why would they want games going on for hours, which poker games do? But they've reduced it down to more of a family-friendly, bit of a silly, who's got the highest card, a lot more luck involved, all that sort of stuff, right? But why, if you've put the whole system together, why not have an option to play a proper tournament? Like a proper poker tournament? Why not do that?
Yeah.
And why is that option not there? It's bizarre.
In a similar vein, so I assumed that this would have Go, which is an ancient Chinese board game. It's, really, really well known. And I've always fancied getting into it because it sounds really interesting. There's basically almost no rules. It's so simple, and yet to be good at it, you have to be a fucking genius. So I've always been intrigued by it. That's not in the game, but it does have Gomoku, which is similar, but not as potentially complicated. But it's the same board and all the same pieces, right? So the assets are there. So you're just a bit like, why don't you just add?
Why don't you make it 52 games?
Like a different mode? Like, why don't just? I mean, maybe the answer is because it's such a potentially complex game. It's really difficult to do AI for it, right? There's a really good documentary on Netflix about how basically Google built a fucking machine to beat the best Go player in the world, right? It's really good. But the point is that's the resource it took to beat the world, the human world champion at Go. It's complicated, but so maybe they just didn't want that challenge. But then there's plenty of the games that I've just blasted my way through to the highest CPU level and beat them, and that's not been a problem. Do you know what I mean? I've not been like, oh, this is bullshit. It didn't end up being difficult enough. Because ultimately, most of these games, if you want a real challenge, you play against a human being. All the assets were there. You could have just added another game.
That's
or it. Or even if it's under the same game, but different rule set you can choose from, or whatever. Because there's examples of that as well. But yeah,
well, the other thing I think is a really important thing to say as well is the bowling in it, right? I saw a lot of reviews saying, look, it misses some of the charm of Wii bowling, but it is essentially Wii bowling. And I look at that and I just go, right, I don't trust your opinion on anything then. Because again, this is not me being picky. I promise you it's not being picky. But there was a reason why Wii bowling took over people's lives. You know what I mean? There was a reason why you would come home from work just after the Wii come out and the whole living room would be playing Wii bowling. This is not Wii bowling, not even close to it.
It's actually almost upset me.
It's like one of those. Do you remember those sport collection games that come out after Wii Sports?
Oh yeah.
And it by a different third party or whatever, and it would have something a bit like Wii Bowling, but it was so not Wii Bowling. It wasn't responsive. It didn't have that tactile feel of bowling the ball. It wasn't as engaging. You didn't feel like you felt in control of what you were doing, but also at the same time, it was really quite difficult to get a high score and everything. That's what Wii Bowling was. This is you don't even let go of the button to let go of the ball. Where's that? Come on.
Yeah, and I'm constantly getting the whole shaking too hard or whatever
shaking too hard.
Is. Even I'm just doing
not letting go of the ball thing is also a pain because my kids, whenever we were trying to play it, they just kept on letting go of it every time because it felt natural to them to do that. And keep saying, just keep holding the button.
That's what I had to do with Harry. And have you had ones where you've proper swung and it just rolls really slowly down the alley and you're just like, what is this for? That never happened in Wii Bowling.
And Elodie and I have played this game loads actually, and it's been really good to do that. And we have enjoyed bowling, but it's also just upset me because I have to explain to her what a Wii was, and she laughs like, oh, Wii. And I was like, yeah, no, but it was another console. And on Saturday, after playing a few games this on Thursday or whenever it came out, I guess Friday daytime. I was like, that's the idea. I've got to show you what a natural bowling game is like. And I was looking on eBay about could I buy a Wii now and pick up the thing, but I couldn't find the right bundle. All I wanted was a Wii, two or three Wiimotes, nunchucks, and Wii Sports 1 and 2, or whatever it is, a Wii Sports Resort. I think I'm going to be buying a Wii very soon, just because I want to play Wii bowling with Elodie and show her what a real bowling game is like.
It's such a shame as well, because car boot sales, mate. If there was a car boot sale, like if we weren't in lockdown or whatever, car boot sales were happening, mate. You just pop to the nearest one, you'd find about 80 of them. They're selling for about 50p.
Yeah. I think I will be buying one. I mean, I think I'll probably have to find something like HDMI converter or whatever. I don't care. I've got to show Elodie. And also I want to play myself. I just want to play a bowling game. This reminded me of what it was like, but it's just really upsetting how much it is not like it. I mean, darts also in this is fun. It's also incredibly sort of shanky. I feel like I have to basically play on my knees.
No,
register a shot. Yeah, if I do it standing up, it's just like all over the shot.
No, I've got the knack of it now. I think the darts is pretty good. It's one of the better ones.
It was fun for sure, but nothing like it should be. And like we played Ludo, which is like a game basically just on luck. It's not a skill game, but we had lots of fun, and like playing even like the squares game where you draw lines and you got to draw the fourth line to get that box, colour it in, and it's like whoever has the most coloured boxes. Connect 4's good. Like we have played this game loads of different games. Obviously, done to the card games are too complicated. Like even like the Scalextric type game, fun enough. It's kind of missing that upper level that I sort of thought it would have, where all the games were brilliant and they were excellent sort of mini games, and these are all. They're good and we've had fun, but they're not quite up to the standard I thought it would be.
It falls well.
I think I'm still going to keep playing, and it's been amazing sort of playing with Elodie, playing some local multiplayer stuff. She's really loved even like bowling and stuff, which I thought quite janky, but she's loved playing that. It's been fun playing with her, but I did expect more.
Well,
but I'm still going to keep playing it. I thought this would actually be taken over my life. Animal Crossing is obviously on the way, and this will be the new thing I'm on my Switch day and night playing, but it's just not really been the case.
Yeah, same here. I mean, as so far. I'm exactly the same with you. I will be playing this a hell of a lot over the next few weeks because Harry's into it. He's loving the Ludo, he's loving bowling, and other various stuff, the shooting gallery and stuff like that. He's really enjoyed, which again is basic as fuck. It's just you've done the work to get the shooting gallery going. Just do a couple of different levels.
A few more patterns and levels with it. It's
really madness, isn't it? It's madness. It just doesn't feel like
a minigame collection. Why isn't there like a local tournament mode or like it does calculate the score, doesn't it? It does like keep the score going in the top right hand corner about who's got what points and stuff. But and like tennis, okay, it's not Wii tennis, Wii tennis, but it's got that sort of toy tennis. I was like, hang on, this is again giving me sort of the Wii feelings. I've got to get a Wii, but like this, it was fun. But obviously, it's toy tennis, so it's different. It's you can move up and down, left and right, but it's not the same sort of fluid motion as Wii tennis. But even that, I'm like, okay, I want to play Wii tennis again.
Yeah. Right, because what's really weird is playing Hanafuda, right? The Japanese card game is all the cards have this like really beautiful, sort of quite abstract artwork on them, right? And I played like a couple of games of that, and I beat the AI, did some challenges and stuff, and it was like, oh, you've unlocked Mario artwork for all the cards, and I was like, holy shit, that's great. What else is there to unlock? I have no idea. I don't know what other games I could play to unlock stuff. I don't know. Is that the only thing that you can unlock? There's no clue as to where you should be putting your effort. Like, obviously, the smug answer is like, well, just play what you enjoy. Who gives a shit what you unlock? It's like, no, if there's stuff to be unlocked, I would like some clue as to. Yeah, I would just like some clue as to what is going to unlock stuff.
Gives you something to aim for, which this game does not give you anything to aim for a large part of it. Also, can we just say those little statue character things, probably the worst thing Nintendo's ever done in ever.
If they were actually remotely fucking helpful, and it's like, here's a little video that you can watch that actually teaches you the game, All right, fine.
It's nothing, is it? It's not that at all. Yeah, because you don't actually like. I was like, okay, if you tell me the controls, brilliant, but no, they don't do it. And then after like that little like
then it goes
skit,
to
we call it a skit. Then there's like sort of, you read text on screen and then it tells you basically the rules of the game, still not telling me how to play it. You can't actually learn to play it until you actually go into the game. So there's 2 bits of preamble, neither of which really help you.
That's what it said. How to play next to the table football. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll find out how to play. I clicked on it and it went, scoring the goal. Don't score in your own goal because the other team get a point. I was like, you have a fucking laugh, innit?
Wow.
And then, so I cancelled out of that, pressed A again, and heard, "Who's up for bowling?" James, you've been quiet.
He's playing Switch.
Yeah, well, I was letting you detail all the problems that there are with it, because I mean, I agree with you on all of that. Particularly the stuff, those intros, they're dreadful. They're universally dreadful. Every single one of them. I just hated them all. And it's the first thing you press is skip, and then sometimes why do they also, even after you've done it, why do they come up again repeatedly? I don't understand that either.
I know,
Play it once, give me the option to rewatch it manually if I want to, but don't play it every fucking time I open the game.
It's so bad.
Yeah. But the thing is, right, is that you see, Chen's been playing this a lot, and she really likes parts of it. Like there's card games because she really likes card games, and so she's been sitting there just playing President all the time, and she just really likes it. And the kids have also enjoyed parts of it as well. Like we played, Last Card, which is based, it's Uno, and we played that a lot, and that was good. They're enjoying aspects of this, like Connect 4 and stuff. But I really was disappointed.
Hold on, how do you play Uno 2-player?
You can't. It
no need
gives
to
you
call me that.
CPU players, doesn't it?
What's that? So you've got to do it on multiple systems to play Uno 2-player.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have to do it that way.
That's why you bought 4 Switches. Actually, James, I want to talk to you about that. Have you played the Scale one?
You could buy a pack of Uno cards for £3. I don't care.
Yeah, you can buy 4 packs for
play Animal Crossing on a pack of Uno cards, Dave.
James, have you done much in Is it Mosaic? Is that what it's called, Mosaic mode?
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet. I need to try it because
you got 4 Switches. I wanted to hear what that's like when you play across the.
I'm pretty certain it'd be underwhelming. I mean, I've not.
Yeah.
I've not
It'll be cool once, and then you'll never do it again.
You can play that. You play the slot car one, but with 4 different.
Right.
Switches.
But I should say, I had a fucking great time playing the Scale Electric one with Isaac. It was good.
Yeah, I bet.
He's I just had a constant, just sort of pretending to let him win a bit, and then me taking over, and then him taking it. He was fucking screaming. It was really good.
Nice one.
But yeah.
The thing is there are a lot of good things in there, and I don't regret getting it at all, because I know that I'm going to probably sit there and play quite a lot of it. But there's just so many missed opportunities with it, so many. Yeah. And the multiplayer in particular, I am really disappointed with.
It's shocking,
especially if you try and play anything 4-player, and you're like, okay, let's all play together. Each person has a Joy-Con. You've got about 4 games you can choose from. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, that's insane. Yeah. There's so many games there that you're thinking. If you play 2-player, do you remember, Sean, when we were playing, there was 2 of us playing online, and they were filling it in with CPU players.
Yeah.
But then, why couldn't they be real players as well?
Yeah.
Is it just there's a big problem with, also, performance wasn't great either. Do you remember when we played it, Dave? And there was I was getting lag all over the place.
We were playing air hockey, and it was just uncontrollable.
It's unplayable.
Yeah, it was a mess.
So it's just disappointing because, I like the presentation style. I quite like that.
No, you don't.
The globe thing.
The presentation style you like.
No, okay, not the stupid videos, but the clean sort of style of it.
Right.
The globe stuff, I don't know what that's for. I don't know why that exists. What's the point?
Bizarre, isn't it?
It would have been fine just to have a list of the games that as they did, but then without all that stuff.
Or I say, have these themed selections, but have some sort of reward for ticking them all off and learning stuff about them. And
maybe your reward should be you never have to watch those intros again, because I'd do that. That'd be something to work for. You've just reminded me of something,
you do the
James.
Bowling one again.
You just reminded me of something with bowling. Why can't we just pass the pad to each other? Why is that not an option? Why can't we play 4-player on 1 Joy-Con?
Oh God, yeah.
What a shit. Can you play 4-player bowling? You can't, can you?
No,
it's
you can't.
two.
It's two player only,
Why?
and you have to use a Joy-Con each.
Why?
For fuck's sake.
I don't know.
Why?
And do you know what else? This is really minor, but again, it's just why is it not an option? Why can't I turn the music off? The sound design's
don't you
really
like the
nice.
jaunty
They've obviously gone to a lot of effort to get all the sounds right, and then there's just this. Fuck off! Just shut up! I just want to. Gosh,
But you see,
weird.
what's also interesting is that like all the reviews for this before it came out were like have been universally positive, and I'd agree with a lot of them. I think a lot of the games in it are really good.
Yeah, I read some of the shit though, and
you know
honestly,
what it is though? It's because none of those people, I think, played it in multiplayer. They all just must have been sitting there playing it on their own.
Yeah, but it's awful on your own, James.
I know.
Like,
Well,
it's
I wouldn't
awful.
go that
There's
far.
no incentive.
Well, there is. You can, like, I mean...
And
it
so
depends
many
on
of
what
the
game
games
you're
are
playing.
based on luck that when it says, do you want to put it up to hard, you just know that, the luck... How do you play an expert at Ludo? Like, how do you do that?
But come on, Dave. No one wants to play Ludo. I mean, I've had this discussion already. It's the
We've played
worst
a lot of
game
Ludo.
ever made.
Mate, I've played a lot of it because Harry's bang into it. I've had no choice. But, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. It's
I guess like the only incentive is for you to like want to get all the different like coloured medals you get, for doing it on the easy,
But
normal,
so tiny
impossible.
on the fucking screen anyway. Like, it's...
Yeah,
I don't
I mean, but it sounds like we're ripping into it and we hate it, but actually, I like it. It's just disappointing because it's not doing
It's
what I thought it would do,
I
or
think
not
that's
doing
the right
it good
word,
enough.
yeah.
But
It's just missed
I don't think
opportunity.
any of us. I don't think it is poor. I don't not poor, maybe. I don't think it is terrible. I like it. It's just not what I'd hoped.
Matt, it is very, very disappointing.
Yeah, it's disappointing, definitely. But I think some of the listeners think we're all like ripping into it and like every
I
element
think
of it.
rightly
And
so.
it's easy to do because I think we all thought it would be like a slam dunk.
It's not
and
very
it's just,
good.
Well,
there's
this
a
is
lot
it, because it's a hard one to talk about because no one's
It's bad.
We're not going to review chess, are we? We're not going to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
see-
there's 51 good like games. A lot of them are very good.
How many
some
of
them are
those
absolute
have better
classics.
versions on the fucking eShop for 50p?
Well, there
That's
is
the
that,
question.
or on your phone in most cases.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
See, I wasn't expecting the online to be any cop. Come on, we all knew that it was probably going to be rubbish. Like, there'd be some way that Nintendo would make the online version terrible.
Agreed.
But at least in like local multiplayer, you'd think that it would have been better than
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because that's the whole thing of this. It's just if you play 2-player, it's maybe not so bad. But any more than that, forget it. It's a waste of time.
What a shame.
Yeah, it's a minigame collection, but they've sort of totally forgotten what makes minigames local multiplayer so good.
Yeah.
They've just there's no thought about it whatsoever.
Just like a winner stays on mode or something like that would be fine.
that would be
Just-
it.
Or
Like
create a
for all the
playlist.
complaints, like if that, or a playlist option, just stuff like that. That I mean, and again, I don't want to do the thing of like, oh, just code it. It'll only take 3 minutes. Like, I'm not saying that, but it just feels like they've done the hard work of doing really good representations of a lot of these games, and then they just didn't. There's just no framework around it. There's nothing extra to it. And as Dave says, there'll be versions of these on either on the Switch or on other formats that'll be more in depth. I mean, arguably there's the joy of discovery. As I say, there's games in here that I didn't know about, didn't know how to play, and I've enjoyed learning them, and and learning about them as well. There's bits of history in there and stuff that you unlock as you play. But yeah, it just needs a bit of a fucking framework around it.
I can't believe they have the best bowling game ever made. The best bowling game ever made. Simple, easy, ran on the Wii.
Yeah.
And we get this in one of their games.
See, I've not tried the bowling yet. I'm going to have to, but still not tried it.
When I saw those previews, it's got bowling. I'm like, oh my god, hang on, it's got a bowling game. It's developed in house, or this is on the Switch. This will be a Wii, but no, they've totally dropped the bowling ball.
This is
Nice.
why we need Switch Sports, don't we? Still,
We do.
still
Yes.
need that to exist.
100%.
Yes, I thought this would be like, hey, this is as good as we're going to get. No, this makes me want it more.
I wonder.
You've hurt me more.
How much of this is down to, do you think the motion in the Joy-Cons is much cop? I'd love to know that.
Maybe not.
I would love to know
because obviously
that.
it doesn't have the there's no center bar, quote unquote, but obviously with the shooting one it just says just point it at the screen, press a button, and then it knows where the screen is. So that seems to work. just fine.
But then maybe
like
it doesn't have that depth that the Wiimotes had. Because if you notice, the bowling seems to pick up the bowl on the swing of the Joy-Con rather than the depth of where you're bowling.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Could be. Don't know, because no one's really done much motion stuff with it.
No, it's all jolting, right? It's all you're either jolting it about, and that's how it picks up the.
I mean, there was fucking balls in a box, 1-2 switch.
Go on,
like that was carefully tilting it around and
but that's fine. But without that depth of where it is, whether it's forward or back, how close it is to the screen, and how far back it is from the screen, maybe that's a huge thing of what made those sports games work.
Possibly, yeah.
Gutting.
Yeah.
Gutting. All right, we've probably spoken about this enough.
But also, I talked to you guys about wanting to get a Wii, and then I didn't have a Wii U, so I didn't really know much about it. But I didn't know there was all backwards compatible, Sean, when you said that. So I could, if I can't get a Wii, I could theoretically get a Wii U and play Wii games on it. And also, you said there's a Wii U Sports.
I was going to say, Wii Sports U is fucking great, man.
It was good, but they did all that weird subscription stuff to it, didn't they?
Oh, they did, didn't they? You had to buy bits of it, didn't you?
Yeah, you had to buy bits of it. It wasn't just
couldn't you just basically just buy the lot for?
Yeah, but hold on,
what the game would have cost.
But there's no eShop anymore.
There's no eShop anymore on Wii U. You couldn't actually buy it.
I've got a Wii U with it on, Matt. So £300, you can have it.
I'm gonna have to do something because I need to show Elodie what real bowling games like. If we've had fun with this, I think if I bought a Wii, I reckon we were playing that for weeks and weeks and months probably. So. I'm going to do it.
Just for someone shouts at me, not you guys, the listeners. Sorry, it was Wii Sports Club was the Wii U one. I was thinking of Wii Fit U. That's why I was calling it Wii Sports U. Right. But yeah, Wii Sports Club. Available now according to the Nintendo website. I don't believe that for a second.
The Wii U eShop is still open. It still works.
Oh, right. I didn't know that. Okay. I thought they closed that. Okay, fine.
No.
Right. James, have you got anything else to talk about?
The only thing I've got is really, I've played Minecraft Dungeons with Asher.
I've been playing loads of that. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. I haven't really got anything to add over what you said about it. I mean, I'm glad that I played it because I found, like you said, because my initial concerns about it being too simple and everything. You're right. I think that it doesn't matter because it's absolutely perfect for him, to play and. Picking up ideas and concepts that he probably wouldn't have done if it had been any more difficult at this point.
Yeah.
So
it is quite difficult when you get to the harder levels, though. How far in are you? How many levels have you done?
We've only done about 4 or 5 of them.
I think there's not that many. It's clear that
there's only 9, isn't it?
This game is definitely made to sell you expansion packs. We're near the end of it, and we've struggled on a couple of bosses. Even me, I've been like, whoa, hold on, this is kicking my ass a bit, and I'm supposed to be over level for this.
We struggled with the Cauldron one.
Yeah, the Cauldron one was the one that got us first time. Yeah, that was really...
Because, you go, rushing in, and it's you can't do that.
But even then, it's just the whole room fills with those, jelly things that just fire at you constantly. They're kind of hard to avoid. But that was cool because we really struggled it with a couple of times and then we did it and Harry felt amazing. Also, one question. Have you ever got anything good out of those merchants in the...
No. They're
never
good, are they?
They just give a shit out, don't they? It's well disappointing.
Yeah. I'll tell you something else, though, is if you can play this on a different console that isn't the Switch, I would.
Really?
Because performance on the Switch is dreadful.
Oh, is it? That's a shame.
It's really not great. It's sort of stutters all over the place.
You do own it on an Xbox.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't got another controller.
What you should do is buy that Xbox One X that was going around with that crazy deal with Cyberpunk, and you get a controller with that console,
that one looks like?
And you use the controller you got now.
Yeah, but that Cyberpunk console looks awful.
It does look awful, but it just sit under the telly anyway, wouldn't it? You'd be alright.
It's really edgy, James. It's so edgy.
Also, what is it, £250 for an Xbox One X and that game?
Yeah. And the code for Cyberpunk. Well, not a code, but Cyberpunk will be on your account when it's out as well.
Fucking hell.
I've been playing more Minecraft Dungeons. Still brilliant. Still really good fun. Simplistic, but good. I heartily recommend it.
You've not had a chance to... You're not fancied Diablo getting into that?
No, not this week. I've been busy. I mean, actually, I think I streamed some Minecraft Dungeons in the week last week, Thursday, or Thursday, and people saying, "Oh yeah, Diablo's it's cheap on both Xbox and on Switch at the moment. I think it might be like 20 or 25 quid on Switch. Mm-hmm. But no, I've been busy this week, so I haven't. But it's still tempting, but not right now. But Minecraft Dungeon's still fun. One game we haven't talked about, we all played together, is Golf with Your Friends.
Is there anything to say, though?
It was good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's good fun.
I mean, to be fair, yeah. So it sort of depends how you feel about I'm going to say bullshit on some of the courses, like. Because it veered between, like, it's all very imaginative, and there are bits where, when it, like, this sort of, was it the Mars level where we were all going through, like, portals and there's gravity bits and shit, and a lot of that was, like, really cool, but then there was the Worms level where it veered much more into, like, just stupid shit that you couldn't really control or predict.
There's loads of that.
But yeah, certainly it ended up being a lot more inventive than I'd given it credit for. Like, I don't think it's a brilliant game of golf, but it does other things with it, right? And that is sort of worth celebrating. And we did have fun playing it together.
It's all the basic shit that it does wrong, though. The controls, the power, like judging the power and, the glitching and all that sort of stuff. If that was all ironed out, if it looked a little bit nicer, then it would be great. But it doesn't, and it's not. So... yeah, shame really.
Yeah, I mean, it's unpolished, doesn't look great, has some dodgy bits, but I think us playing 4-player, I had fun. It was like stupid fun.
How did you have fun? You got hammered on both courses.
I didn't get hammered, but it's still fun. Like,
one of you lost by about 50 shots. No, it was good.
Not by 50 shots, by 4 shots and 2 shots. But it was still fun.
Okay. We're changing history here. Sean, have you got any other games to talk about today?
Yeah, I've got a couple, both fairly brief because the ones I've talked about before. So I'm playing more Cloudpunk, the Cyberpunk delivery sim.
They added the first-person mode to that scene.
They've added the first-person mode, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to play it for much longer than I would have because now I'm just going around taking pictures constantly. But yeah,
cool. So it works well.
It works absolutely fine. It was really strange because they'd said, the devs had said on Twitter that basically they didn't do it because the game sort of relied on that fixed perspective. It said, if we gave you a first person mode or a free camera, it would sort of undo some of the tricks they use, right, to make it look as nice as it does. So I was expecting to, like, every time I turn a corner that I wouldn't normally be able to look around, there'll just be like untextured walls or big fucking holes in the environment. I've not seen anything like that. It's been absolutely spot on. So I don't know, maybe they've patched things up in order to make the first-person mode work. I don't know. But yeah, it's been great. And it's, as I said, it's that shift in perspective is really valid because you feel like you're actually, like boots on the ground versus the, just flying around really quickly in your fucking space car.
How far into the actual story are you?
I think I'm like 2/3 of the way through.
Is it maintaining the stuff that you loved about the?
Yeah, if anything, it's been getting heavier with the cool, like, just interesting concepts. Basically, there's been like, I'm still not really sure what the main character's actual arc is. Like, it's kind of just interesting things happening to her and her backstory doesn't seem particularly interesting. I don't know if that's going to change. But yeah, there's been like, sort of recurring characters and stories developing and stuff. And so, some are just like interesting little one-off situations. And then, some are sort of a bit more drawn out. So yeah, still really enjoying that. Hopefully get that finished this week. I've also gone back to Jet Lancer because I was stuck on mission 15. Because the score, it was basically a level where it was just like destroy, like you say, earn like 70,000 points in 3 minutes, and it was fucking impossible. And I actually, because I was lucky enough to get code for this, I did flag it up like pre-release. I said, look, just so you know, I don't think I'm bad at this game, and I am absolutely like this level's just completely impossible. The most points I could get in 3 minutes was like 40,000, and that was like doing everything I could. And yeah, so they patched it once and reduced the score target to like 60,000 or maybe 50,000. And I was like, that's still not enough. I still can't do it. And yeah, and when the game came out, there was a lot of chatter around everyone getting stuck on that mission. So they've since patched it again. And I think this target's like 30,000 now, so it's entirely doable. And yeah, and the day I found that out, stuck it on and blasted all the way through to the end of the game and finished it, and it's fucking great. It's so good.
Nice.
It is basically like if Platinum got to do like an arcade flight sim. It's like the precision and the clarity of the combat is just so good. Like even when it's like, you know, there's just fucking explosions everywhere and enemy ships flying around. Like the attention to detail in the visual design and the sound design just means you always know what's going on. You're never caught off guard. It's never too chaotic that you can't follow it. And it's just, and the missions just ramp up in terms of like just how exciting they get. There's cool set pieces, like, you know, just cool stuff happening in the background as you're flying around shooting stuff. There's missions where like, there's like bombers flying over a city, right? And they're just trying to bomb the city. And you're having to like fly around, take out the bombers. But sometimes if you don't take them out quickly enough, they will drop a bomb and it'll be like alarms going off. And so you've got to like fucking boost halfway across the level just to like destroy this bomb before it hits the town. And it's not, you know, that sounds really stressful, but it's not. It's just fucking exciting because it's all perfectly doable. You've just got to be alert. Really, really enjoyed it. Would thoroughly recommend it, even if you're not like I'm not a huge shooter guy, but it doesn't feel like you know, there are bosses with like attack patterns and they do shoot a lot of bullets, but it's not a bullet hell game. It's not so intense, and also because you have a dodge move, right? So even though enemies will be shooting lasers all over the place and stuff, it's just as long as you time your dodges right, you're okay. But yeah, and it always feels really good doing it. Fucking loved it. Jet Lancer, available on Nintendo Switch and PC. I mean, it must be coming to the other consoles. They're mad if it doesn't.
It does look good. I mean, the bit that I saw you play, it just looked fantastic. Yeah,
proper
right
good.
Up my street.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. That's it for everyone. So should we get on to the emails?
Yeah. If you want to email us, you can email us at podcast@thecomputergameshow.com. Maria Mendieta says, Dear TCGS co-employees, with the more business-like outlook of the TCGS brand, please consider the following scenario. You're asked to take over the real-life job of one of your co-hosts, in whose role, brackets, professor, architect, PR manager, or the mysterious farm overseer, do you think you could feasibly excel for a week?
Easy.
That's a good question.
Easy. Mats. Easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, get the beanbags out.
I feel like Matt, and this is...
Get the scooters out.
I feel like Matt's, I'd be best at blagging it for a week. But if it was more than a week, job, Sean. If it was more than a week, then very quickly it would be revealed that I had no idea what I was doing. Whereas, like, I know with Dave's, I know I couldn't answer the first fucking question about architecture. I know I couldn't answer the first question about Chinese history.
Yeah, imagine that. Putting on that game that they tried to sell the PS3 on. That was Japanese, wasn't it? That's terrible. Sorry.
Ooh. Yeah, do you want to apologise now or wait for next week?
Oh, next week.
Okay,
yeah, no, it'd be Matt's. You could just... I mean, look, that sounds like we're having a go at Matt's profession. We're not. It's
no,
joking.
I mean, if it was me, it would also be mine. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a professor. I don't know about farms, and I'm not an architect, so
well,
obviously it'll be like that.
We soon found out.
Yes.
Go on, Matt. You need
Assistant
to answer
the architect.
you need to do the answer though. Come on.
Well, if I can't be mine, I mean, I guess I don't know what Sean does, so I guess Sean's.
This is what sort of kills this, is I'm not actually allowed to explain what my job is.
Yeah, we don't even know.
Not that it's interesting
farms,
or exciting.
That's fine. I mean, basically I can't do the others.
He's told us several times, but about halfway through the explanation, we just talked about something else.
It's really not that interesting.
James, what was your answer?
See, I probably would go for yours, Dave, because I couldn't do it, and I think it'd be really funny. Because of that.
What, like buildings, just like with doors, like on the fucking roof and shit?
Yeah, just do whatever, turn up on building sites not knowing what about safety or anything. It'd be a disaster.
I don't know about safety.
After about a day or so, I get punched, definitely, like at some point.
It is pretty brutal on those building sites. If you sit there without an answer, you are getting called a cunt. Like, there's no way around that. I'd like to see you in one of those meetings, actually. I think you'd be all right. You'd be all right. I'll teach you a couple of things. We'll go around. I'll walk around London and just point at things. I do that to Jo all the time. That's one of my favourite things to do. I walk along with her, and if there's no one else around, like nearby, but like there's lots of people around, but no one's close enough to hear us, I just point at buildings and stuff and like move my arm left to right and say to her, I'm doing this because some people think that I'm telling you a really interesting fact about the buildings, and then I just put my hands back in my pockets and carry on walking.
Dave, do you remember when we'd been on a night out in London? I forget why.
Probably don't remember then. Go on.
Probably because we're mates and sometimes we hang out. But I remember we were walking back to the tube station. And there was just this one. I don't know what it was about this one building. And you just went, see that building there? I can tell you how deep the foundations of that building have to be, and I fucking hate myself for it.
I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said that. Deep the foundations would be.
Yeah.
Unless it was a 3-story warehouse, I was lying.
I might have been. I can't remember what sort of building it was.
I can tell you how deep the foundation. That's the structural engineer's job. That ain't my job. It was either a really low building, and I just know because they're the buildings we do, or I was bullshitting. So it was one of the two. Go on.
Well, I believed you, so you should have just kept your mouth shut, mate.
But now you see it on the
Dave,
podcast,
you can tell you
go,
how deep the foundations are in any building. It's fucking amazing.
They've probably got a basement.
But he fucking hates himself for it. So swings around.
Yeah, go on. All right.
Next email, Simon from Sunny Maidstone says, since the arrival of my second daughter a few weeks back and my eldest daughter hitting the terrible twos hard, it goes without saying that life at home is a bit mad at the moment and my favourite hobby is on hold. My question is, what's the longest time you've gone without gaming and how well did you cope without it? I don't know if I ever have.
Oh, God, yeah. Mine must have been when my mum
that.
took my N64 away for a month.
Oh, shit.
That was probably it. I can't think of another time where I've spent more than a month not gaming, like not playing a game at all. And it was when my mum, I had the flu, and my mum said it was because I play video games too much. So she took my N64 away for a month.
Wow.
A month. And I remember
Did you get better?
the day she gave it back, that was it. I must have spent
Got the
about
flu
9
again.
hours straight on it because it was like, fuck this. Yeah. God, what a horrible thing to do. A month. Fucking hell.
And it's like, yeah, that just makes no fucking sense. And especially, obviously, when you're a kid and you're ill, all you want to do is play computer games. That's your fucking medicine, mate. That's
That's your bread and butter. I was
Certainly
just so disappointed. Matt, what's your longest?
I mean, it's never been a long time. When I went to university, obviously, I there's other things I was more interested in doing, but
shagging
wanking.
birds.
Probably.
that is crude. All right.
So that's what I was expecting that from Dave.
I did
not
wonder
you,
when the
Sean.
real Sean Bell was going to show up on the podcast, to be honest with you. The one that we know off air.
But there, I was mostly playing like social games like Guitar Hero and
still gaming.
Dance Dance. Yeah. So it just changed, and actually, I did play a lot of Animal Crossing then.
Oh,
So maybe nothing's changed. But I've definitely gone periods of my life where it's calmed down, and I remember when I got the DS. That really reignited things again. But I think it's just when I've been busy or other things that happen in my life that I've sort of haven't had time for. But there's never been a period where I haven't been playing really.
James?
Same. I mean, obviously there was periods where my parents took away like my Mega Drive or whatever, which was annoying. Usually for different reasons. But I can't in like other times.
Can you
can't
think of
really
one of the reasons?
Yeah, can you give us one reason
Yeah,
now?
you can't just leave that, James.
Oh, I can't think of any reason. I mean,
You get the flu,
there must
isn't
be a memory.
James, were you a fucking tearaway as a kid?
I robbed the bank.
It was mostly just because of playing it too much, or they just. I mean, my dad hated like the sound effects and everything on it, and you just get
Oh my
annoyed.
God, you really are your dad. I hate the sound of it. Turn it off.
Yeah, no, he hated like the noise from it, and so he just they took it
Why don't
away
you buy some
sometimes,
earphones?
which is annoying.
All right, sure.
Actually, yeah, because with the Mega Drive, I could have plugged them in on the front as well because it had that headphone jack, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
shame.
Messed up there.
Real shame.
Shame.
Yeah, shame.
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 I mean, when you said was he a tearaway, I just imagine little James Farley in like a little leather jacket
Yeah, on a bike,
into,
on a motorbike.
going into the youth club and hitting the jukebox. Oh shit, James Farley's here.
Doing wheelies on his
The
chopper.
bad boy.
The bad boy of Canterbury.
Yeah. Oh no, the bad boy Canopy's here.
didn't grow up in
rhythm
Casper.
of the night, oh night. That's an old 90s track.
Ask your parents.
Right.
That's it for emails.
Cool, tweets. They were good. They were good emails this week. Thanks for them. Keep them coming in.
Yeah, everyone look at them too, and like, if you're thinking about doing an email, just look at the quality of Marie and Simon's, all right? And come on,
Raise the game.
up the quality.
Yeah.
It's at TCGS.
Just get the switch.
You wanna...
Just get the switch is the answer to the email that you're already writing.
yeah. Okay. No, let's answer loads now. Get the switch. What else we got?
Whatever console your mates have got. That's the other one.
Yeah, definitely.
Autographs are in the post. They're £5 each. And yes, if you want to give me free stuff, then yes, please. There you go. That's it, isn't it? That covers it.
And games we didn't like and then we liked, we don't know and we don't care about that one. It's at TCGS. Come on Twitter.
Just offended 90% of our audience. Go on.
First question. What console do I... No. Gareth Cutliff, or Sean, Gareth Cutliff at Cutty1427 on Twitter. Has anyone other than Sean seen or played Hades from Super Giant Games?
Supergiant.
It's early access and it's a fun and playable game. You mentioned this on my Minecraft Dungeon stream, didn't you, Sean?
Oh, yeah. I think you'd really like it.
So is it a dungeon crawling game?
It is, but it's a roguelike as well. So you fight a load of guys, you sort of unlock abilities as you go, but then at the end of the run, most of those go, but you earn currency that you then spend on other upgrades and then give yourself a bit of a leg up the next time through, which is my favourite kind of roguelike. It's also, like, there's so much, the sort of home bit that you go back to whenever you die is, like, really rich and things change there over time. So every time you die, you just, like, rather than being like, oh, fuck's sake, like, what, another run fucked, like, you just like, oh, cool, I get to see what's going on back home again. And it just makes it a much more compelling loop than, like, any other roguelike I've played. Yeah, it's really good.
Nice. Would I like it, Sean?
So, do you know?
You might. You fucking might, Dave.
Oh, look at that.
The combat's really good. Really engaging. So, yeah.
Okay.
Do you know, whenever I see Gareth's name, like the Twitter name, I always thought that was Cutie1427.
Cutie1427. I mean,
yeah,
why not?
You can call him that if you want.
Yep.
I'm sure you won't mind.
Yeah, we get people's names wrong all the time, so yeah, Cutie1427 it is.
Cool. Nice one, Cutie. Thanks for the email. Tweet.
Thanks. Cute stuff. Alex at Alex79UK. Question. Would you ever consider setting up a TCGS versus Cane and Rinse gaming tournament?
Yes.
Could each choose a couple of games and stream it after charity donations, etc.? I think it's got legs.
That's
actually... There's like 50 of them. It's not fair.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be like you versus 10 of Cane and Rinse, James.
No. But what, I know what he's saying.
That would be an amazing game of PUBG, though, wouldn't it?
I know what he's saying is that when it comes to the World Cup, the countries with the lower population are usually a lot worse because they've got a smaller pool of people to pick the best players from. Yeah, we're basically Iceland in this situation.
They've got like most of gaming that they can like.
I'll be up for that.
I mean, to be fair, like that, yeah, that's a real, because I've been wondering about what we could do as a charity stream, because Lord knows there's been decent causes going around lately, and obviously we've said before, we talked about, obviously pre-lockdown, we talked about one day doing a 24-hour charity stream. Obviously that's out the window.
Yep.
I did. I'll just keep saying it until people start asking for it, and then we have to do it. But yeah, no, actually,
how many people asked for it, Sean?
I mean, no one. But it'd be good, I promise. But yeah, no, actually, us versus Cane and Rinse, that'd be fucking good.
That would be good. But one of the main ones, I'm talking your Garrity, yeah, your Des, your
Garrity,
Leon,
Cox, Des.
Yeah.
Is Des part of it still? I thought has he not taken the back seat? I don't know.
That sucks.
I've not heard him for a while. Ryan Heyman. Who else? Who else is the dream team?
Jay, isn't it? Jay.
Oh god, yeah, Jay.
Yep. I'm up for that. Bring it on.
Yeah.
The main ones versus the main one.
That is actually a really good idea. I'm going to send an email after this.
No, don't do that. Let them listen to this because they'll listen, and then contact us on Twitter because that's what they'll do, and then it'll look like you know. All right. Okay. You got to understand power, Sean. Power.
I mean, I think we all know I don't.
Oh, Sean understands it, right? His middle name.
All right.
at Cineware on Twitter. I'm pretty sure Sean's already answered this, but other than Fentimans, what other well-good soft drinks are there? Preferably ones I can pick up easily, but I'll take far-out suggestions too. And my time traveling dog butted in or got involved saying, to piggyback on this, can Sean tell us why all Fentimans drinks taste a bit weird? I've heard it described as tasting a bit like bath water. What? Other traditionally made soft drinks don't taste that way. So first part, I guess.
Yeah, so first part, other well-good soft drinks. Personal favourites at the moment are Soda Folk, who do a fucking incredible root beer and cream soda. I think you can mail order straight from their website. I think Sainsbury's stock them now as well.
That's when you switch off, innit? That's when they go mainstream and you're like, no, mate.
So
yeah, from Sainsbury's. No, God,
Waitrose, okay, yeah, I can deal with Waitrose doing it, but Sainsbury's... And then when it goes to Tesco, Sean actively protests against it. You know what I mean?
Forget it. Yeah. Who else? Oh, so Gunner, G-U-N-N-A. Again, you can order straight from their website. They do really good pink lemonade and a cola and a ginger beer and nothing. They're really good. And they're also, I mean, they're a fair bit cheaper. They're also like quite low sugar as well, if that's a concern. Why does Fentimans taste weird? Because it's all brewed, it's fermented. So there is like a tiny bit of alcohol in it. Nothing. That's less than 0.5% of alcohol. So it's not technically an alcoholic drink as far as the law is concerned. But yeah, so there is a fermentation process, which is that's how it's carbonated. So yeah, that's why it tastes weird.
Is that why you like it? Because you get off your tits on it?
Yeah, that's all it takes.
It's just that 0.0%. Alcohol in it, yeah.
In terms of soft drinks, Sean, have you tried Coca-Cola?
I mean, it was always coming, that joke, wasn't it?
Never heard of it, mate. Never heard of it.
That or hot Pepsi.
Oh, James, you said you would convert into Pepsi Max. Is that still the case?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sorry.
Also, James,
moment of weakness.
When it sounded like you had a sponsorship deal with Diet Coke.
Yeah.
God.
When lockdown was about to happen, I believe you told us you'd stockpiled.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you
Pepsi.
did.
Yeah, how's it going?
Or maybe that was actually for Brexit. Where are you with them currently?
I've already gone through all of them. They're all gone ages ago.
First weekend of lockdown, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
You will be stuck in a bunker.
I was getting a bit nervous. I was getting a bit nervous actually for the first couple of weeks of lockdown because every time I tried to buy it from the supermarket, it was all gone, and I was just thinking, this is a serious problem. I started rationing myself to 1 can a day. It was getting not very good.
Do you remember Big Brother when John, what's this guy, the horse racing guy with the chops, bit of a dickhead?
Oh, McCririck.
Yeah, John McCririck went mental because he couldn't get his Diet Coke. That'd be James in lockdown if they weren't selling it. Yeah, you're John McCririck. Whatever he is. Exactly the same. The same in my eyes. Right.
I mean, everyone else was kicking off about lack of toilet paper. James was like, well, where's my Pepsi?
Where's fizzy fucking pop?
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, not Pepsi.
It's the same, isn't it? All right. You know that you don't look like the people from the Diet Coke adverts, right? Back when we were younger.
I mean, to be fair,
whenever you're having a cold Diet Coke on a summer day and you're lifting it up really high into the air, in your head are you thinking, I don't want to.
James is also in a laundrette, like taking off his wash jeans and white t-shirt. Did you see
one of those, like, those window cleaner platform things? Did you see one of them laying around once and just jumped on it, took your shirt off, and drank Diet Coke because you were going up? Guaranteed.
But he's on there with a multi-pack.
A big crate of it.
24 cans.
Dunking at the windows. Just giving his little nipple a rub. Right, let's go to the next tweet, please.
We get end on this. Andy Godwin, that big cop man on Twitter. Hey, TCGS. Okay. Okay. Who has been your favourite sidekick in the game? There have been so many annoying ones, but which one worked? Also, please give a shout out to Lindy for barely holding the chaos of the gaming music quiz in the Discord channel. It can't be easy.
Oh my God, we need to talk about this.
Well, very briefly, go to our Discord channel if you're into game music, because the music channel in there is having a massive competition to the point where we've got our own radio station set up, playing the songs. There's a voting system. I've been occasionally popping in there and introducing the songs live, which has been my favourite thing to do for a little while now. We've got little TCGS radio stings and stuff between songs. It's just wonderful. Thanks to Cammy, who was heavily involved in setting that up, I believe. Is that right?
Well, it was his idea.
Well, I mean,
And then I did all the legwork. But he did the sting, and he's going to do some more. So
wicked.
Yeah, yeah.
So get on that. But yeah, no. What was the main question?
Favorite sidekick in a game.
When you said sidekick, what's your favourite sidekick? I nearly jumped in and just went, Mystic Meg.
Clinton
Paul
Baptiste.
McKenna man myself.
It's got to be
Clinton
right.
Baptiste, definitely.
Okay, the little dude in Clinton's the boy. The little robot in Fallen Order was really good.
I think Kazooie.
Seems fine.
Kazooie. Oh, come on. That was the one thing that was objectively brilliant about that game. That little dude. Okay. All right, Sean. You got the arse
what's
about
that little
that.
thing's name?
I can't remember. B27 or something. Oh, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. B9?
B9.
BB-8. It was BB-8, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't BB-8.
Oh, no, he's the one from the film.
Oh, Jesus.
Was
it R2-D2?
I think that's a good shout. Kazooie's a
Darth
very
Vader,
good shout. I would also argue the big robot thing from Titanfall 2.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a sidekick, even though it was better than the main character. He was brilliant.
Mine would be Joel from The Last of Us.
Yeah, Joel from The Last of Us is good. Although the only problem with not Joel. Joel was the main character.
Well,
I assume that was the joke.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
'cause
okay, you made a joke.
Technically, he's the one that's just sort of looking after Ellie, isn't he, right?
Yeah, even though I think she's the main.
Yeah, I know,
Yes,
but she's
yeah.
not. She is the sidekick throughout the majority of that game.
Just saying, there's a potential reading there that Joel's the sidekick.
Yeah, think about it. It's deep.
It is.
Just think about it, Dave.
The horse
He's not
from
though.
Shadow
He's
of
the
the
one
Colossus.
that you play, and then Ellie follows you about. I'd say Ellie's a sidekick.
Yeah, but who does that make a sidekick, or
Yes.
like you could be
Yeah,
playing?
you
but
could just play
be
as the
playing
sidekick.
alongside someone else, and they could be the main character in a way.
Okay.
If you think about
Yeah.
it.
Then no, though, because you don't
think
see
about it,
Ellie for a long time in that game.
I'm just saying, if
Yeah,
if
but
that
that's not to say
story,
that she's not the main character in the story.
She
I mean,
isn't.
yeah.
She's the sidekick.
But if you think about it,
but if
I've
that
thought
story
about
was
it,
just
Matt.
written, Dave, if you weren't
Well, think
playing
about
it,
some more.
if you weren't playing
don't
it,
worry,
and
we're
that,
going to get emails about this.
if you were just if you
Yeah,
weren't
and I
playing
wonder
it,
from
Dave,
who. Go
and
on.
it was just written down, you could read that and you'd be like, well, Ellie's the main character.
Look, I agree. I'm joking. It's just funny to blindly ignore all the points you're making and just completely misunderstand them. But I mean, I wouldn't say top though. I wouldn't say up there, right?
no.
I wouldn't say up there.
But
I mean,
it's a
up
good
there.
thing we argued about it.
No Diddy Kong.
Actually, David, I think it is up there. Yes, I think it's top. Yeah.
I don't think it is. If you really think about it, Matt.
Well, no, if you think about it, Dave, I think she is.
Who is
so
the sidekick?
He is. Aren't we all?
Sorry, Sean. What, have you got an answer?
I don't know if it cut through or not. I shouted the horse from Shadow of the Colossus at one point.
Good one.
Horsey. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. Epona.
Can't. Oh yeah. Let's just
Matt, that was a
list
different
horses.
game, Matt.
Was it?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
are the
it was a different
horses?
Just was the same horse.
Right from Witcher 3. That's the horse.
Flood? The flood thing from
What?
Mario
The
Sunshine?
aliens.
Oh, I thought it was something from Destiny. No, from
No,
Halo.
Halo.
I did think Ghost,
the
but
flood.
like, it was crap though, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
crap.
Still is.
Annoying,
Still
yeah.
is.
Yep.
Why doesn't he have a
thought it was
fucking
Dick
name?
Mitch.
Every other ghost in the game has a name, and he's just Ghost.
Because he's the main
I
one.
mean, that's the thing that annoys me about the moon, as in like, at the actual planet. Like, why do all the other planets in our solar system have cool names like Titan and Europa, and our one's just called Moon?
Well, made worse by the fact that our moon does have a name. It's Luna. And
But yeah,
but they
everyone
just
calls
don't.
it
Yeah,
the
but in the
moon.
game,
It's
it's
like-
just the moon. Yeah,
How shit is that?
yeah, it's bollocks, mate.
Hate it.
Shit game.
Right, James.
Lynch from Kane and Lynch. Yeah? Have you ever thought about those guys?
Ooh.
No one thought about those guys, did they? I just did.
No,
No one.
I just did.
bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
Oh my god, Kim Kitsuragi from Disco Elysium.
Oh, God, yes. Oh my God, that's the answer. That's
That
the
is
answer.
Yeah, He's
That's
the
the
boy.
answer. One of the best
absolute
sidekicks
boy.
in any game ever. Yes, 100%.
Kim is the best.
If you've not played Disco Elysium, it's a character that follows you around throughout the whole game, and they're infinitely interesting. Like the reactions, the life stories, everything you think about in that game is how would Kim react. And I mean, there is a play style to just completely fob him off and do your own thing throughout the whole thing, but you you don't do that because he's such an interesting character. Yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah, that's probably the best answer we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Kim?
I can't wait for all the conversation around Disco Elysium start up again when the console versions come up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't
Very
wait.
excited.
I mean, every time Sean has his stream and there's like some Disco Elysium music in, I'm like, what a bloody game.
Yeah.
What a bloody game.
Shame about the ending, in my opinion.
No,
Shame
it's
about
not.
that
No, it's
ending.
not. It's not shame about the ending because it's good.
So that's it for tweets.
Cool. All right, well, let's do the socials, Matt.
Yeah, so this Thursday, Sony are showing off some PlayStation 5 games, and they've actually updated the blog post on the thing, which I think is kind of interesting potentially. They've said they've got ahead of it and said, just to let you know, I wanted to add this pre-taped program will be broadcast at 1080p and 30 frames a second. This eased the show's production process during a time when many of our team of developers are working from home. The games you'll see on Thursday will look even better when you play them on PS5 with a 4K TV, as you would expect.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but it's interesting they sort of got ahead of
Yeah,
that.
it makes
like,
you wonder,
I think a
like, are they
lot of people
freaking
obviously
out?
saying about the Ghost of Tsushima thing, like, this looks shit. And obviously that was, Twitch and YouTube looked like, it just looked really terrible, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it's interesting that. And also they've said it's also best if you watch while wearing headphones if you can. There's some cool audio work in the show, and it might be harder to appreciate if it's pumped through your phone or laptop speakers.
Interesting.
Will it be harder to appreciate with you guys talking over it while I'm trying to watch it?
So what do you want us to do? Do you want us to all show up on Thursday and stay silent, James? Is that it?
Yes, ideally, but yeah.
Well, that's not happening. So if you want to
What
watch
an
us talk
entertainer.
over...
That's what they'll remember you for, James, when you're gone. He was such an entertainer. He was born.
One of the greats.
He was showbiz in a man.
So yeah, but if you want to hear us, talk over the PS5 sort of show on Thursday, we'll be live from 8:45 this Thursday night at twitch.tv/TCGSco. We'll be talking over it and enjoying it with everyone else. So I can't wait for that. That's Thursday. On Friday, James is back streaming Dreams. Friday night at 9. Sunday night, I'm doing Resident Evil 3 at 8 o'clock. And Tuesday, Sean is back playing the Saboteur. That's Tuesday at 9.
Yes,
They're all
mate.
on our Twitch channels. I just mentioned you can watch the replays of those streams if you miss them live on YouTube, youtube.com/TCGSco. Well, if you're Amazon Prime, you've got Twitch Prime, and you get 1 free sub a month. Please go over to our channel and give us that free sub. Can't give it away to, you can't keep it yourself. You have to give it away. But, we really appreciate you coming over to our channel.
Keep it yourself. They can't keep it themselves.
Yeah, but you
don't get
can
anything
do
for
nothing
keeping
with
it.
it, but it makes sense if you
Yeah,
do it
but
to someone
please
else,
don't.
aka us. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/TCGS. By the time you hear this, have we done anything? There'll be some stuff coming soon, basically is what I'm going to say. And next week we'll be doing our bonus show. Next couple of
Big
weeks there'll be
bonus
another
show.
talks over as
It's
well.
a big bonus show this week. It's exciting.
Should be a good one.
There's a narrative now on the bonus
Something's
show, so you
worked.
definitely want to...
Something has fucking worked.
Something's massively worked,
yeah.
So that will be out next week or so, and then the following week we'll be doing our TCGS talks over, which the details watch it live if you're $10 and above patron. And TCGS.co. Sorry for everything else. There's a store now on the site with updated TCGS branding.
Have you officially announced that?
We
Talked about it on the show, didn't
mentioned it last week
Yeah.
because the sale was on,
Did we?
and I did mention it. Yes.
And then it
Oh,
sort
right,
of
okay.
seemed,
Because the sale
sort of
was-
seemed
the sale was
inappropriate
last-
to
The
bang
sale
on
was
about
last
the
week, so
sale,
now if you go to TCGS.co, there's a link to the store in the top and also the footer, and there's t-shirts and hoodies and jumpers with the new logo on if you so wish.
We haven't had that awkward conversation. Matt's ordered a load of stuff with the new branding on. Do we split the profits for that?
What?
You've
What?
You
I
bought
don't
a
know what
load
the
of
rules
your
are.
your own t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, not a load. I bought one hoodie and
so
one
the profit,
t-shirt.
yeah. So the profits go into the pot.
Yeah.
You split that 4 ways, or
Obviously.
wasn't expecting it
Obviously
to
we
go
do.
that well. I will catch you next week.
Why would I buy it and I get the money back? No, it's like it goes into our pot.
All right, okay.
I
I
mean,
was
presumably-
going to say this after. You absolutely shouldn't split that money, Matt. You just get the money back and get cheaper t-shirts. That is
No.
insanity.
No, it's our money. Why would I don't
Because
care
it's
about
our
that.
money. You've bought the. Okay,
Well, I anyway, it's all our money.
Look,
That's what matters.
I had to drop the act then for a moment.
Actually, the funny thing was, so basically, I was logged in and I made the original order. I was like, hang on, these t-shirts are cheaper. I was like, okay, well, maybe that's like because I logged in and stuff. And I was like, oh, hang on, no, we don't get any profit. We don't get any what's the word? Like a commission that. So,
Right.
because it said like whatever the terminology, it said 0. I was like, you know what, fuck that. So I cancelled that and reordered again, not logged in. So we got some money we can share.
Just okay. I don't understand your brain. We'll catch you next week. I love you all. Good night, everybody. Goodbye. Thanks for living it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Do